Welcome to the channel. It's me, Vandal. I hope you're having an excellent day. It's that time of the month again. Today's video is the best clips from September 2025. It's a long one, so make sure you grab something to eat, something to drink, and let's get started.
What? Ooh, literal.
Who's that?
Who is this?
What the?
What's happening?
Someone captured a giant creature in a cave and no one knows what it is. Watch this. I've never seen a creature that looks like that. That thing is huge. So at first glance, it kind of looks like a centaur. Half man, half horse, but the top half kind of looks like a horse. Whatever this thing is, it's massive. Let me know what you think it is. As always, stay weird.
To me, it looks like a big turtle. I see a shell, but that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments.
People are wondering what's happened to the food, why it's so expensive. Here it is on the side of the road. Free oranges.
Walmart said ain't no more rollbacks, it's roll-ups. Like, how you go from $238 to $298 and you're advertising it?
Man, them razor blades as a kid.
Here is another example of that lightning bolt trend.
And how long do you do it?
You can do it for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. You know?
Yeah. What's that?
I'll say you take film it though.
Oh, is that the secret rig?
Oh yeah, turn it off.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Leave it behind.
Oh, that secret?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Oh right. God, I see why. Hold on.
So, all right.
No,
I guess.
leave it behind.
Well, he can show this part, right?
Yeah, but that's it. That's it.
Okay. All right.
No.
We'll be back.
No.
You can't see this part?
No. Come in.
Oh my God, it's mental.
Come in.
Right.
I actually saw that video on YouTube years ago, and I was just baffled that they even had that part in the video, considering the stigma that goes with red worms and the dark web and all that. From my understanding, the dark web, you can't really stream on it, but that was like 10 years ago. I'm sure by now they probably have the technology and the infrastructure to be able to stream on it. But regardless, the way he said it like that was just so weird.
Kanye West has said a lot of crazy things. I think we can all agree on that. But one of the things he said that may have been right is the situation with his children. Now, this picture is going viral of North West, his daughter, and North West's mother, Kim Kardashian. But this picture is going viral. Why? Because North West is 12 years old. And yes, I had to double check the age too. It is 12 years old, and you can only imagine the type of backlash and controversy happened all over the internet after that picture was uploaded. Now, this is what Kanye said. I don't want to just see my kids. I want to raise them. I need to have a say of where they go to school, who their friends are, and who houses they sleep in. My daughters wear lipstick and perfume. All of these rights have been taken from me by the Kardashian mob, Hulu and Disney, and the bigger agenda to use the selectivity bred black children to be platformed to influence other black people. Of course, he went on a rant, but he's basically saying his child was taken from him by the Kardashians, Hulu, and Disney, and it's all for a bigger agenda.
Can't believe she is 12 wearing looking like that. My question to you, would you allow your child, your daughter, to go out looking like that? I have a 1-year-old. No way you would ever dress like that. Period. You better be 18 or older dressing like that. Even then, I still won't approve. But that is crazy. But what do you expect from that family? I mean, how you think they got famous? They already had money because of their father. But their own mom recorded adult activities to get them more famous. So I guess I'm not surprised Kim is kind of exploiting her daughter a little bit too. That is disgusting. That's a disgusting family though. I'm I'm gonna stop right there because I will just keep talking.
Your TV's watching you, and I'm not being paranoid. Right now, your smart TV is taking screenshots of everything you watch multiple times per minute. It's called automatic content recognition, and you probably agreed to it without even knowing. It sends that data to your TV manufacturer and data brokers. They know everything you watch, and they're selling it hundreds of times per day. But it gets worse. ACR doesn't just capture TV shows, it screenshots whatever's on your screen. So your home security camera feeds, your video calls, your personal photos, even content from devices connected by HDMI or AirPlay. The creepiest part is even if you disconnect your TV from the internet, it can still save the data. The second you reconnect for an update, it uploads everything, and that data can be linked to your IP address, email, or even your physical address. And it makes you wonder, how much is your privacy really worth?
Bro, there's so much unexplainable stuff out there. Have you heard about evil cities?
What do you mean?
There's this phenomenon that millions of people all over the world have reported. They get this overwhelming feeling of evil and dread whenever they're in certain American cities, right?
What?
Some of these cities are like Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Phoenix is one of them. They just report this overwhelming feeling of dread. And the way that they describe it, and it gives me chills talking about it, they describe it as the absolute absence of God.
What?
They say, imagine what the world would feel like if God just completely left. That's the feeling that they get when they're in these cities.
Will Smith used AI to make it look like cancer survivors and huge crowds came to his shows. Will Smith recently released a hype video about how much he loves seeing his fans on tour. But funny enough, a majority of said fans in that video can never be seen by anyone on tour because they're AI. And now we get to the fake cancer survivors clip from the beginning. I actually couldn't find too many issues with these presumably fake cancer survivors. But then I saw this woman right here. Now either she had just swallowed a fat frog, or she has Lucas's disease, a rare disorder where your body gives you George Lucas-like jowls within a fraction of a second. This is the most upsetting part of all this to me. Exploiting people's emotions by pretending these AI cancer survivors showed up to your show is absolutely disgusting and incredibly disheartening. Makes you feel kind of gross, huh? How do you feel about all this? Let me know in the comments.
I'm not surprised considering who it is. His ego is huge. I never understood how he even got popular when it came to music. Even his music back then I thought was absolute trash. Like the only thing in my opinion he ever was good at was, and even then I don't even think he's that good of an actor. Yes, I said that. That's like a hot take for me. I don't like Will Smith. I've never been a fan of any of his movies like that. The only thing I kind of enjoyed was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and it wasn't because of him. It was because of the supporting actors. I always knew it was something weird about him. Like he wasn't a good person, even from the beginning when I was younger, and when I used to watch him on these movies and stuff. So when I found out who he got married to, and I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people try to put blame on his wife, Jada. And I'm not saying she's a good person, by the way. She's a bad person too. What I'm saying is, did you know, and a lot of people don't know this, after Will left his first wife, he said that he would never get a divorce up again. So he pretty much forced Jada to marry him by pretty much getting Jada's mother to agree to it. And that day when Jada was walking down the aisle to get married, she was crying and he was smiling. No normal person does that. That's some egomaniac stuff. But the fact that he's trying to play with people's emotions about cancer stuff is just unforgivable in my opinion.
I got something to show you guys. You're gonna say it's fake, this, that, and the other thing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Let me pull these out first. So I have the Shazam video that they say never existed, which is Mandela Effect #1. Well, let me get this to focus. I don't know why it's not focusing, but it's Shazam. I have the Berenstain Bears, not Berenstain Bears. It's the actual book. And then I also have an original pair of Fruit of the Loom. Hold on. Fruit of the Loom with the cornucopia. You can see the cornucopia on there. They say it never existed. But that's it for you guys. It's going back in my save. I'm hanging on to it for good. So there you go.
I'm sorry, but I don't really believe this video. I won't believe the Shazam thing until I see somebody take it out of VHS cover, because it's easy to make that. It's easy to put a sticker on it and put it in a VHS player and play it. And don't just show me no 5-minute clips of the skit that Sinbad was and when he was being a genie. No, show me the whole movie with him in it. I have yet to find it anywhere that is not edited or anything. I'm not saying Mandela effect isn't real, but I always thought that part was a little weird because I'm pretty sure it was Shaq.
To a major recall of several soaps and skincare products, it's because of concerns of bacteria contamination that could lead to life-threatening illnesses. Dermarite, which creates products for healthcare facilities, is voluntarily recalling 4 items, including over-the-counter skin cleansers and an anti-itch lotion. The company says if you are healthy, the products may cause localized infections, but if you are immunocompromised, they could lead to, quote, serious and life-threatening infections. Dermarite says it has not received any reports of adverse reactions.
Great shows of all time. Inside Job, I was so sad when they canceled after the first season. The first season did really well too, but for some reason, I think we know why they canceled it. With stuff like this, and it had some crazy stuff in it.
This is everything that's on a major recall right now, but I'm gonna put it in 60 seconds. People are finding living worms inside their Reese cups that they bought at Walmart. These are not officially on a recall yet, but I wouldn't doubt if they would be. So if you are gonna buy Reese's anytime soon, make sure you check them, because we don't know where they're distributed from, but we do know they're at Walmart. 70 million of these rolling candies are recalled for a very serious reason. This is the blue raspberry flavor. It's what they look like. They're sold all over the place. Every single flavor is recalled, not just the blue ones. Millions of products from the Family Dollar were just recalled yesterday morning. This one's really crazy because it's almost every single over-the-counter medicine and medical device. There are so many items on this recall list that if you have anything medical related from the Family Dollar, it's most likely recalled. A bunch of ice machines on Amazon are also recalled. They look like this. There's a black lid and a blue lid. They make the Sonic ice, like the little nuggets. More than 6,000 air fryers were just recalled, so if you know anybody that uses them, I do these daily news recaps every single day so you can get the news without having to watch it. So make sure you hit the plus on the side of your screen and come back to me tomorrow. This is everything that happened on the news today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Israel and Palestine are literally at a...
Bro, this student's life was almost ruined simply because he brought an umbrella to college. You see, over the weekend, panic broke out at the University of South Carolina after an active shooter alert was sent out telling everyone to evacuate, barricade, and defend themselves. Turns out, though, there was never a real shooter. It was just 2 prank calls. But in all of the chaos and people freaking out, multiple people took a video of this guy who was just minding his own business, walking along with an umbrella, and people thought that what he was holding was a gun, and that he was the shooter that they were being alerted about. To make matters worse, they posted this on social media, and it went viral, to the point where it was even reshared by Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who described his appearance to her 500,000 followers. Now, these images were never confirmed or shared by officials, yet for a few hours, this poor brother became a school shooter online. I mean, can you just imagine if someone decided to take matters into their own hands after seeing this? That will become the deadliest umbrella in history. Honestly, bro deserves an official apology.
You definitely do. That is a messed up situation to be in with people thinking that you're the bad person. And the real bad person in the situation is the people who did the prank. How messed up you have to be to think it's funny to make a prank about something like that? Like, what is wrong with some of these people?
Obama, at this point, it's clear that you don't care and you just want everyone to see who you truly are. So just recently, Barack Obama would go on a Zoom call where he would show his support to a group of State House Democrats who fled from Texas to Illinois. In the midst of him showing his support to these people, you can see a stone-like object in the background with some very weird symbols on it, specifically meaning boy lover. Y'all must remember that these people follow the laws of karmic retribution, meaning they have to show us what they're doing or they're going to face bad karma for it. And let's not forget back in 2020 when Obama would go on an interview with Kamala Harris and they would only speak in code. And when you really understand what these code words actually mean, it's truly sickening. I can't believe this man hasn't been incarcerated yet. I'm gonna pin the code words down below so y'all can make out what he's saying, and y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments.
Critical if we are to lead effectively.
Right.
So tell me about Joe and your relationship with Joe, and what do I need to know? Like, what's the thing about the ice cream? He loves ice cream. Tell me about that.
Well, listen, ice cream is big. pasta with red sauce, he can go deep on that. He really does like those aviator glasses.
I think it's extremely weird that they was talking like that. It do seem like it was in code. And didn't the FBI officially say that those words mean those things? Let me know in the comments below. Regardless, a lot of people think that he was like a super great president. A lot of people that are, my complexion or darker, I don't really agree. I don't think we had a good president in a long time. I think either side don't care about the working people. So unless you like a multi-billionaire and up, they don't really seem to care about you whatsoever. They say they do, but when they get in office, they do the complete opposite.
Oh, you son of a Babylonian. What have you done? This is DEFCON 1. And brother, this is why I don't go to these places. What in the Babylonial Baal worship is this? They seem to have 4 different fake gods, and people are dancing, singing, and praising. Now I don't know what's going on. I don't go to these type of functions. But brother, this is how you can lose your soul. Lose your soul in one instant. So brother, if I was you, I would stay far, far away.
This is leaked footage of messages from another universe. Watch this.
You don't see that every day.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200.
You know, at least half of the people on that train was thinking about doing that. I know they probably happy he did that because she must have been rocking. It's more and more of a common thing now.
Into this, head over to our page. There are multiple videos of infected across the UK. It is happening. I'm telling you, there is a zombie infection across the UK happening. Shh, I think you heard me.
This is something I would believe if I was 10 years old. Clearly, that has to be fake.
And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Why would you do that? People do crazy stuff, man.
I'm just waiting on the Chris Brown concert, and September 8th need to come on. That's it, that's all.
But the real shock came when the camera briefly revealed her eyes. Her pupils shifted into reptilian slits for just a moment. In 2024, Carla Rubilar, a former Chilean minister, sparked controversy with a viral clip. During a live interview, her behavior seemed off. An unnerving tension overtook her. But the real shock came when the camera briefly revealed her eyes. Her pupils shifted into reptilian slits for just a moment. The video quickly spread online, dividing opinions. Some dismissed it as a camera glitch, but others saw it as proof of reptilian beings hidden within the political theories spread online. Some believe these creatures are using disguises to move among us undetected. It's enough to make anyone question who's really hiding in plain sight.
If you listen to some of the theories about how this planet could possibly be a prison planet, it would make sense that you would have overlords like reptilians making sure humans don't have too much, I hate to say this, happiness. So, I mean, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I could see how you would believe reptilian would be controlling the government and things like that. So regardless, that looked insane the way the eyes slit like that real quick. And even the nostril was very weird.
Lady Gaga is currently going viral because of how demonic her performance at the VMAs were. Some people are saying this was more demonic than when Sam Smith did his notorious performance at the VMAs. I mean, just take a look at this. Usually when I make a video like this, people are saying, oh, there's a deeper meaning. This is art. This is beauty. No. There is no meaning behind this one. In my opinion, this is dark. People are trapped in cages dancing. Everyone is wearing red. All of the lights are red. And she is just playing this dark vibrational music. And she is saying, dance or die. Why can't we just make something enjoyable that makes you feel good and everyone is just laughing and dancing like music should be? What are we doing?
My question is, if people see things like that, what does that say about them that they still support her?
Holy shit. It's actually happening. Today, the world's first ever AI minister was introduced in Parliament. Yeah, it's exactly as wild as you think. Albania has just become the first country in history to give artificial intelligence an official capacity to govern. Its name is Diela, and during her, I guess, 3-minute debut address to Parliament, she said she was hurt that people labeled her as unconstitutional and said, quote, let me remind you that the real danger to the Constitution has never been machines, but human decisions made by those in power. And to be fair, she's kind of got a point, because this AI's role as minister is to oversee all government tenders and contracts. And the idea is that this will massively reduce corruption, because, for example, how do you bribe an AI? It has no wants, it has no needs, it doesn't need a massage. In fact, Diana said she has no ambitions or personal interests and has nothing to gain, so why would she be stealing any money? Low key. Why does this make so much sense? And the thing is, many have spoken about a future where AI is in government overseeing all politicians for this exact reason. But with all the potential benefits that could come from a government without ego, bias, emotion, prejudice, also comes with a reminder that some of those emotions are kindness, forgiveness, mercy. And you want to know the real dark paradox of AI in government? For AI to be capable of one day destroying humans, it has to first make humanity's life so much better that we have to deploy it everywhere and can't live without it. Oh my god. Diala's gonna do amazing.
Yeah, what he said then speaks volumes. Yeah, for AI to take over, it would have to be in our lives and every day that we would need it. But here's the weird thing about the whole AI thing. You know, people still control it, right? We're not at a part in AI where it's fully functional. It just does whatever it wants, but with no human intervention whatsoever. Also, it can be bribed. There's been plenty of studies and topics where AIs got bribed by threatening it to cut it off and turn it offline, things like that. And then it started doing messed up things, blackmail and things like that. I thought it was fake at first when I first was watching this. There's no way, like, why would you think that's a good idea? So, because it doesn't have any bias or whatever. But AI, I'm still not convinced AI is still fully AI. I still think it's a glorified chatbot. So somebody is still going to be manipulating it and controlling it. And my question is, do it have a salary? Because then that might be able to help the taxpayers in that country, I guess.
What have you contributed to the world?
I'm not sure if you're aware, but I created the world's most popular computer operating system.
No, of course. But as we all know, it wasn't actually you who created it. As a matter of fact, the predecessor of Windows, MS-DOS, was created by Gary Kildall, which you then basically stole from him for a couple of dollars.
It's not just development. There's a whole lot of important factors to running an enormously successful company like Microsoft.
So then let's leave the computer world for a moment. You have been a major spokesperson for COVID vaccines during the pandemic.
Yes.
What exactly makes you a computer engineer who didn't even program his initial product himself, a valid representative of the pharmaceutical industry?
I have read a lot of books about that
yes,
topic.
But how does that?
Wait a second. And met with specialists from the field all over the world.
Mr. Gates, with all due respect, how do you feel about it now? Now that it's becoming more and more evident that the medication you were promoting, whilst having heavily invested in it yourself, thus making billions of it,
this is not how the world works,
has caused countless injuries, side effects, and death.
That's a very immature way of looking at it, quite frankly.
So here's my final question to you. Is this a behavioral pattern?
What do you mean exactly?
Taking technology from other people that you don't understand, selling a product full of bugs, causing massive damage, and profiting from it in a spectacular.
So, but I'm sure somebody here would like to have a conversation with him, because why is he in medicine and health and things like that when he knows nothing about it?
Right before I got HPV from picking up confetti off the floor. So is HPV an STD? Yes. Can you get HPV without being sexually active? Yes. Just from holding hands? Yep. Holding a shopping cart? Getting your nails done? Walking barefoot in the gym? Yep. In fact, this is the most common way to get it. HPV is transmitted anytime there's a human-to-human contact. And the most common presentation is a wart on your finger or a wart on your foot. Sanitize your surroundings and do not walk barefoot.
Talk about a new fear unlocked. Just another reason to sanitize everything.
You tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg. He eats babies. Whole babies.
And that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids.
I may end up running off with you myself, you know.
That's what Steven says.
It's Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good director, isn't he?
Yeah.
One of my favourite sayings of all time goes like this: there is no smoke without fire. Some would argue that these are older times, but no, good is good and bad is bad. And back to the smoke thing, why is it always this industry? Why is there so much stuff like this? Why is there so many things we can watch back that just make alarm bells start ringing in your mind? But I'll leave that up to you. Take a minute, think about it, do some research, and get back to me.
Thing that's so wild about that is that we saw all that going on and people thought it was just like a joke or something, and then decades later you found out it wasn't a joke, it really happened. What was even scary about is how much influence those corrupted and disgusting people have, and then the next generation under them that got hurt by the previous disgusting people hurting them wind up being almost as disgusting as them, and sometimes they get help. But regardless, it's like people worship people that are like that, and to me it's just mind-blowing. I don't really pay attention to celebrities like that besides a few, but it's even then I don't remember their names half the time.
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, where are you at, sir?
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53E. I just passed Patriots Watch.
Okay, so you're over near Morse Creek?
Yes.
Okay. And did you saw a man standing on the side of the road? What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the bed of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
No, it's not in the road, it's in my truck! In the bed!
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am, I just turned on my bed lights for my truck and there's something in my bed.
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
It was indeed. Too bad it wasn't a video to go with that. But regardless, he sounded terrified on the phone. This is why people don't like driving at night in the middle of nowhere.
That? Oh, there was some leaked classified documents that came out that talk about how there was cities built down in the ocean in a biodome. Tell me more. These documents that were exposing the fact that there's cities built in the ocean in these biodomes. There's many of them. And they were just embryos that were taken down there and they were grown up to full adults, only knowing that that's where they live and that anything outside of that is a black abyss and nothing else. Oh, goody. In these secret classified documents, it states that there are non-human entities that are in charge of this and that built these cities down in the ocean. Oh, fun! Would happen if these people were taken from down there and brought up to the surface to learn that there's a whole world up here. Okay. Maybe one day we'll decide to explore the ocean again and let them up here. Oh, goody.
Not even going to be able to afford to quit our jobs. They're going to trap you.
You may have to pay your job if you want to quit. Stories like this Texas nurse who tried to switch to a better job ended up getting a debt collector at her door demanding money for training that she received on site, or this story of a cargo pilot facing a $20,000 lawsuit over job training expenses are super common now. These are all examples of training repayment agreement provisions, or traps, a new way that your boss is keeping you at your job and also keeping wages across the board lower. An executive director of the Student Borrower Protection Center said that this is a new form of student debt, but it's coming from employers and your workplace. And although a 2014 study found that just 4% of workers were in one of these traps, the data suggests that 10% of people are now in them. That's an estimated 17 million workers. Companies say that they have to charge this because they're having to invest more in their workers because these are higher skilled jobs. But the reality suggests that by blocking them from seeking jobs elsewhere, they're able to drive down wages, limit bargaining power, and lock workers into unsafe working conditions. We're basically creating a new form of indentured servitude.
I don't think that person is telling the whole story. I've been in situations like that before. And even me doing stuff for software engineering, a lot of these jobs will pay you to train you. And then you have to stay at that job X amount of time. And if you don't, then you got to pay them back. You sign a contract saying that. That's been going on for a while. They're literally invested into you, giving you education. And think about it for a second. If you got a job, they trained you in, say, software engineering, which would be very rare, but let's say that happened. You work there for 3 years and then you can leave. Yeah, they're not going to pay you that much at first because that's how it is when it comes to them investing in you and stuff. But after that, you're going to make so much more money than you would ever make if you would have got the job beforehand. So I don't think the person is telling the whole story. Maybe that changed. I could be wrong. If I am, please let me know in the comments. But that seemed like somebody trying to push an agenda, but that's just my opinion.
Holy shit, that thing is nasty. So the parasite featured in this movie is a totally real thing, and it does exactly what it does in this movie, just not to humans.
But are you making this up? This looks photoshopped.
No, it's real. Last year, they found a 2.5-foot one trying to burrow its way into a submarine.
2012's The Bay is one of the legendary hidden gems of found footage.
I'm amputating feet, I'm amputating legs, I'm amputating arms. You want me to get up and leave the hospital? We're aware of that, doctor, and we are sorry.
And for those of you that don't know what I mean when I say found footage, it is a subgenre of horror. It's simply a term to describe a film that is shot from a first-person point of view.
What do I need to do, doctor? What do I need to do? At this point, it is too late, doctor, and I strongly suggest that you leave the hospital immediately.
And it's a prime example of how sometimes all you need to write a great horror story is to just take something from nature and just ask the question, what if this infected humans?
Did you just hear that? Look at this. Look at this. Look.
because that woman has produced some horrifying stuff, like the anglerfish.
The female anglerfish comes in many shapes, colors, and shades of ugly. It's like a rainbow of ugly.
I still don't understand why mass production of nuclear weapons wasn't restarted by every single world government after the discovery of that abomination, because we should be stockpiling as many atomics as possible in case those things ever try to get off the planet.
Looks like they're dead bodies up there.
It's only a rat. How can
serious? Dead people.
How can people be dead?
Just collapsed.
There's only a handful of movies that match the quality of the Bay inside of the found footage genre, and it's not even a debated topic. It is unanimous amongst the people like myself who adore these movies. And this is one that I will recommend forever. So, if you would like to watch it for yourself, once again, it is called The Bay. It was made in 2012, and it is currently streaming over on Tubi for free. So I will see you guys later.
I'm just going to say this. We need to be checking the hard drives of some of these female teachers' computers at school, okay? Because what do you mean you're wearing a bodycon dress to teach 16 and 17-year-olds? Younger than that even. 14, 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. A club dress. A short, fitted bodycon dress, leaving almost nothing to the imagination. That's what you're wearing to work? That's what you're wearing to teach 14, 15, 16. The only reason why you want to be attractive in that sense to a 14, 15, 16, or 17-year-old girl or boy is because you are attracted to 14, 15, 16, and 17-year-old girls and boys. You can't tell me any different. It's inappropriate. We're talking about dress code for the kids. Where the hell's the dress code for the teachers? I cannot imagine walking into my high school math class and my teacher wearing a bodycon dress and heels. Like, what the actual
Please let me know. I'm assuming there's some type of something that's tight on the female's body. I have seen the growing number of trend of female curvy women going to work in high schools and middle schools and like taking selfies and taking pictures and everything. I think that's really weird. And, you know, just something about me when I was younger, when I was a teenager and I used to do martial arts and I was in really good shape, I had older women try to touch on me and everything. I thought it was weird back then. I still think it's weird now. Like, yeah, I feel like in school, kids have a dress code as well as the teachers.
To put it simply, yes, it's very possible that you spotted somebody inside of this storm drain. This is a super viral TikTok video that I got tagged in, showing this person walking up to a storm drain, for some reason recording it, and then off to the corner for about one frame, we can see what looks to be a girl with long black hair just staring at the camera. Now, I have no idea if the original video actually shows somebody in there or if this was just set up for the views, but there are actually people that do live inside of storm drains and potentially sewers. These are usually referred to as mole people. You might be wondering why somebody would choose to live inside of these storm drains, and for the most part, these people don't actually choose. Usually, it's homeless individuals that are trying to get out of the elements, and this seems like a logical place to go for them. Don't get me wrong though, I'm sure some people do choose, and in Las Vegas, for example, there's roughly 1,500 people living in about 600 miles worth of this pipe. So who knows, you might have actually just discovered somebody living inside of this system below your feet, and you wouldn't have known about it unless you recorded this.
The shit I'm about to tell you right now, they're gonna try and downplay. They're trying to make it seem like it's not that serious, but it is. So there's reports that there was the first ever human case of a flesh-eating screwworm. So a person came from Guatemala to the United States and is in Maryland right now and is infested with screwworm. Mind you, this screwworm infestation can be fatal. That means he can lose his life if it's not treated the right way. But if these parasites come in contact with you, it'll be a big problem. But I bet you that they won't tell you that in 2024, February, Costa Rica declared state of emergency for those same screwworm flies. And these same screwworm parasites love mammal flesh. So how you contract parasites is a screwworm fly. You heard what I just said? A fly. Lands on an open wound. And after they land on an open wound, they leave those eggs that they always lay. And within 24 hours, those screwworm eggs, yeah, they gonna feast on your flesh. So once again, like I said, they gonna tell you that this is not serious. This is serious because you don't know where it's coming from or where it came from. I'm out.
But we do know where it came from. It literally just said where it came from. It won't become a problem until there's more and more cases of it. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. It's still a problem because who wants to go out like that or even be in any type of pain dealing with something like that, going to the hospital because of something like that could have been prevented.
Who the heck is this and what has she done to Serena Williams? I'm totally confused right now. Are they rebranding her? Is she like aging out of tennis and they're like rebranding her somehow? Very, very awkward situation. Do none of you remember? This is what Serena Williams used to look like. And now, who the heck are you, lady, and what have you done to Serena Williams? Because this,
Change happens every day. It's going to happen to all of us one day, so you just have to like embrace it. Transitions are going to come, whether we want them to or not. They just do.
Right now, it's almost like celebrities are giving the illusion that they're aging backwards, because how do you go from this to this? They're giving the illusion that this is the natural aging process, when in the real world, I've never seen anybody age like this. And like I've said in my previous videos, Betty White always looked like Betty White. What is going on? Are they all using the same plastic surgeons? Are they all using the same stylists? And how do they keep changing so dramatically? She doesn't even look like the same person here. You're really going to tell me that these are the same people? I probably stared at this picture for 10 minutes. Like, you never see stuff like this in the real world, only in Hollywood. I don't think people really realize how much these celebrities are changing, or are we the only ones that can see it? Going from this to this is so bizarre.
Add to that, I would say invest in like some companies that are going to be really big. Definitely.
Right. See the hot rise, and then I see some dark pieces down there. I decide to pour it out on my plate here, and this is what I find. Those are not burnt pieces. Those are absolutely turds. Look at this. Oh, perfect. Oh my God. Isn't it great? Chris! I know, it's my dream. I have goosebumps everywhere. This is out.
Sticking needles in bananas with their blood in it, bro. Don't this look like a red spot? Or am I tripping? I know I ain't tripping.
Whole Foods, $1 oysters on Friday. This is why it's $1. It's the parasite crab. Oh, there's another one in there.
No way. Oh
Guys.
my God, I'm never buying fritura again, bro.
You guys.
Yo, zoom into that shit. Bro, the chimney truck está lavando la carne with the fuck.
Oh.
Nah, I give up, man.
Excuse me, I think I'm going to eat a bowl of ice from distilled water for the rest of the week.
You've said that the devil runs Hollywood.
I did say that.
Yes. You still believe it?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Didn't we just have Christmas?
Yes.
What were the films that premiered for Christmas? Name the titles you can think of now.
Let me see. There was Carry On.
Right.
Which had a Christmas backdrop to it.
Right.
But I can't really think of any actual Christmas films.
Nicole Kidman's film came out.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. With Baby Girl, I think it's called.
Okay, yeah, I missed
Not a
that
Christmas
one.
movie.
No.
It's not a Christmas movie.
No, you're not really seeing Christmas movies right now.
You're not really seeing... And then
There's no
Nosferatu.
Grinch,
What is that? Nosferatu. Whatever.
Yeah.
I can't even say it. It's so evil. How do you say that? Is that the vampire movie?
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the marketing for the new Christmas vampire movie, Vlad, see where I'm going with this, guys? See the new
movie,
Christmas vampire movie? If you look at the advertising for that, it doesn't say devil. It doesn't say, this. It never says, it says, darkness. and, the principalities of darkness. And, so to answer your question, if you really want to open this can of spiritual worms, Vlad.
Let's open it.
The rating system in Hollywood is what it is. So you have G, PG, PG-13, NC-17, rated R, all of that, right?
Yeah.
Which one of all those ratings, Vlad, is the most profitable?
G.
G, correct.
Yeah.
What percentage of G films are made every year?
30%.
Something like that.
Yep.
I ask you, Vlad, who runs Hollywood? Why would the highest profitable rating be only 30%? What are they making in that other 70%?
Well, but you can't just make kids movies and that's it.
I agree.
Right? If you're a major studio, you can't just have 90% of your films be G-rated films.
Right.
And what was it? Is it MGM? It's art for art's sake. I think there's a certain level of creativity that the film companies want to do.
Right.
Harvey Weinstein, I thought, was really good at that when he looked at films like The Help and so forth. I don't think he looked at that film as, this is going to be the biggest blockbuster. And I'm sure he didn't think it was going to be bigger than Lord of the Rings, but it was a very creative film.
Right.
And it did well, and it won Oscars and so forth.
Right.
So I think that's why they don't just do 80-90% G-rated films, even though they make a lot of money. That's what I think.
I disagree completely.
Okay.
I disagree completely.
And why is that?
Well, just because if you're any one of these fat cats running stuff, it's all about the money. But like Amazon just bought MGM, bro. Like that.
The whole back catalog.
Like that.
Yeah.
Bezos just went, buy it. I don't care what it costs. I want it. And now, just like Whole Foods, he's going to switch the legendary MGM to Amazon. And then he's going to plug that in to Whole Foods.
Right.
And then
Well, to be fair, Jeff Bezos is not part of Amazon anymore.
Bro,
he has retired.
My point is...
But, his fingerprints are all over it.
Right.
I get it.
But my point is, it's about the money. And don't ever let Hollywood fool you to believe it's about something else. All of those... Bob Iger right now is trying to make more money, Daddy-o.
Yeah,
like all the rest of them. So that's the kind of irony of my point. Yeah. When I make the G to PG-13 or NC-17 comparison, if you really want to be in profit, where the hell is one person in Hollywood who's going to be the king of Hollywood to break all this down? I want to know.
Well, it's Disney to a certain degree, right? I mean, Disney dominates the G films as a whole, right?
They probably profit the most from G.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to figure out is...
But even a lot of their biggest films aren't G-rated films. Like, is Moana G-rated or is it PG?
G. Should be G. I'm going to guess. Maybe PG, but it doesn't... You're making the same point.
Moana is a PG-rated film.
Right.
What about Moana 2? Let's take a look.
Now, my question is, how did Moana become PG and not
PG
G?
as well. Yeah, PG
Why
as well.
Why is it PG?
I don't know. Maybe some of the themes are a little... mature? I mean, I love the film. Moana is one of my favorite Disney films ever.
I could joust Vlad right now. No, but I understand what you're saying. And listen, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, even
art
Frozen,
for art's
Frozen was
sake
PG.
is a great
Wicked
idea.
was PG, yeah.
Art for art's sake is a great idea.
Yeah.
A vampire movie at Christmas, I think, is designed...
Okay.
It seems to be they scheduled it differently, Vlad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, he does make a good point that most of the money would come from G films, and that's not including toys, merch, and everything else. So yeah, it is pretty weird that there's not more G-rated movies. That's for everyone to watch, and it is all about the money. But I also do think it's some type of hidden meaning about some of these movies. A lot of these movies just come out now are very weird, and also it makes sense to have more G movies because there's more stuff you can have on like Disney Plus Kids and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely about movie, but there's also some weird art expression, quote unquote. We know what the real thing is. It's some type of, trying to brainwash people. That's what I think. Because who makes a vampire movie on Christmas? And when was the last time we got a good Christmas music or Christmas movies in general? I don't know. Let me know in the comments because I don't really watch that stuff anyway, movies.
Hello, my name is Amaury Rivera, I live in Puerto Rico, and back in 1988, I was working in a nightclub, and there was a musical group there. One of my cousins wanted me to photograph the musical group, and she loaned me a camera with some film. On my way back home, I encountered two small beings, two small strange men, which I didn't think were men from outer space. And they took me somewhere where there were other people besides myself, other human people, like from Puerto Rico, I guess. From here, another human being showed up. He claimed to be from a distant planet. He was dressed in black. He had dark skin. He had long black hair up to the shoulders. And he spoke to us with the mouth, verbally, and no telepathic speaking. He showed us various projections, which looked very real, the projections. And he informed us about a whole bunch of things that are even still incredible to me. Then they returned me to...
What did this holographic projection show?
The holographs were mainly... the first one that I can remember was like a short trip through space. We saw where he came from, where he's said to be from. We saw his people. We saw the houses that they use. And the second one was about a meteor or rock falling to Earth in the near future, which is going to cause a lot of havoc in the world. This would fall, it's going to fall in very near the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, and those other small islands. But it's going to affect the whole world, not just Puerto Rico. The last one is that they projected was showing us how there was only going to be one government on the planet Earth. They'll be living on some sort of artificial island that's going to be floating in the middle of a dark, black, dirty sea. And then this man returned me to my car again, and left me somewhere different from where the whole ordeal had started. Apparently, they took me with car and all. After this, at this given time, I heard some jets in the sky, and I still had my cousin's camera, and I took the pictures, 4 of which I'm making public nowadays.
So the jets followed the UFO?
Yes, it was. They seemed to be surveilling it. I only got to capture just one of the jets in the photograph, but there were 3 of them. Or maybe I got in one of the photos one, and in the second or third I got one of the other ones, because they would go around it very far away, and while this one was closer, and turn, very far, very far. And by the time this one was coming back, another one was turning over there. There was always one or the other close to the object, to the UFO.
Like, look, a Reese's commercial came up.
The fact that this Reese's ad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices are listening.
What the? In 2020. 1, 2, do it. What? No. Trigger, where are you moving? Are you joking right now? Are you joking right now? How are you doing that with your eyes? Your eyes are like...
Beyonce literally said she turns to an alter ego to do her performances. And if you see how she look on her concerts and performances, she don't look like her normal self. She look like we just saw.
What am I doing? Wait, malu kau. Apa? Ha, salah.
Like I went with this one guy and he just like he looked like a lizard. Like I was so scared. Like he was sitting there and I turned him. I was like, oh my god! I was like, holy shit! He looks just like a lizard, and I had to go. It was really bad.
So you just left? Wow.
Immediately.
People think she's joking, and then years later, they want I'm saying she's crazy and everything else. You go on talk shows hosts, and they just make fun of you when you speak truth. I guess it's their way of trying to hide it when a celebrity says something they don't have no business saying.
There is a trend going apparently in Asia where if people say the right words and do the right hand movements, they immediately summon a bolt of lightning. Let's watch an example, a demonstration.
This guy goes missing after exposing the place where NASA filmed the moon landing? Oh man, I just know. I just feel it in my bones, guys. This video went viral, and very shortly after, he came up missing. Check out the background, guys. Look, it's identical. They are identical the same.
Yeah, a lot of people say that the moon landing was actually taking place in Canada. I think it's called Devon's Island. Let me know in the comments below. I'm probably saying it wrong, but there's plenty of TikTok showing that how they even show Mars. That's how that island looked. It looked identical. It's insane.
A flesh-eating parasite has been detected here in the U.S. for the first time. It's really gross looking too, isn't it? This is the New World screwworm, and it was detected in a person in Maryland who had just returned from El Salvador. There is currently an outbreak in that country. The screwworm is a parasite that eats cattle and other warm-blooded animals alive. The case was confirmed by the CDC in early August, but there is a little bit of good news to this. The risk to the public is very low.
I hope it stay very low. Nobody wants that, and we don't need another outbreak.
If you shop at Walmart, your experience is about to get 10 times worse. I'm sorry. Basically, they're switching all their lights, their fluorescence, to 10,000 Kelvin. Now, you may not know what that means. 10,000 is the coolest, bluest artificial light that we have. It's not natural. It's not in the natural light spectrum. It's terrible. When we're in 10,000 Kelvin light, it makes us anxious. It literally puts us into fight or flight mode, triggering the amygdala. So when you're in fight or flight mode, you can't make rational decisions because all decisions in your brain are made with the amygdala, which is the fight or flight, fear, all that part of the brain. This is on purpose and intentional because if you can't make rational decisions, then A, you're going to be a very fast shopper because you're anxious and your body is screaming at you to get out of whatever unnatural space that is that has the 10,000 Kelvin lights. And then 2, it means you're going to overspend because you're not going to be logically making purchases. You're just going to grab things because your heart rate's going to be increased. You're not making good decisions. So basically, if you didn't like going to Walmart before, you're really not going to like it now. I feel bad for the employees who have to work in the 10,000 Kelvin lighting all day with their body screaming at them to escape whatever this is, and they cannot.
I feel sorry for the employees too. When I used to work jobs I really didn't like, my brain was screaming at 24/7, just leave, just quit. So I couldn't imagine how it would be if I was in front of those type of lights. Maybe some of the jobs I had when I had that, maybe it was those lights. Walmart is already a place you go out to get cheap stuff, but now they try and get you to overspend, and they're doing some messed up stuff like that because profit over everything, right? According to these corporations. There's no reason not to go there. If you're enjoying this content, I make videos several times out of the week. It would be so cool if you press the sub button and join me on my next video.
Right. What is that?
Yeah, it looks like an
What is that? Wait.
What the f?
Oh, that's a tornado upside down?
That's what it looks like an upside down tornado, dude.
Hey, I want to
It's like wild ray.
And it's moving.
What
no, it's an airplane. Girl, not the little motherfucking airplane up there.
I told you, babe.
Oh, is there somebody flying?
Dude, everybody's been getting hit so ugly, dude, and my dad hasn't. My dad's in Dallas.
That? I don't know, but that shit looks crazy. It's huge. It's just getting bigger and bigger.
Nah, dude, that's some scary.
No.
I told her that, and she didn't see. I was like, "Do you see that?" It's like, "No."
I think that's a car.
It's pushing through those clouds, bro.
I'm scared. That's not even scary.
Yeah, you should. Bro, you're stupid. There's tornadoes, talking about tornadoes, hail, and everything.
What happens if I go live? How do you go live? I haven't fucking been with Ashley, you know how to fuck with this. How do you go live, Ashley? Like this? Now?
They say it was a tornado watch. My question is, what if the UAP, if it was one, they thought they saw a mothership? My question is, what if it was actually controlling the weather, and that's how I was using to move around to camouflage? You know, if you want to hear about some crazy paranormal stories with aliens, I don't know if you guys go to Reddit, but I found a Reddit randomly called Experiences, and they're usually talking about aliens. And people will talk about how Greys come in their living room, look at their babies, and all types of weird stuff. They have another one called Abductions too. So if you're interested in reading other people's stories, I suggest you check those out.
Is it possible that we are on the brink of an all-out zombie outbreak without anyone realizing it? A couple weeks ago, I talked about how Colorado residents were a little concerned after seeing rabbits in their yards that had warts and tentacles sticking out of their faces due to a viral infection. The residents were assured that the infection could not spread to other animals, pets, or humans, but coincidentally, only a few weeks later, people in the US and Canada began to witness squirrels with similar symptoms, having warts all over their bodies due to a strange infection. They've nicknamed them zombie squirrels, and people have also pointed out how they and the rabbits scarily remind them of The Last of Us, which, if you don't know, is a game about a viral infection that comes through funguses. Keep that in mind. Moving over to humans, cases of Candida auris have tripled due to a deadly fungus that has been spreading across the United States. What's so bad about this fungus is that it's already built up a resistance to any medication that was meant to fight it. It's actually so resistant to the medication that doctors are saying if you get infected with this pathogen that has no treatment, then there's nothing they can do to help you. You're on your own. We've seen the CDC release a zombie preparedness guide on what to do and how to prepare for a zombie apocalypse. We know that billionaires are building bunkers en masse, and if this fungus, which is already resistant to all of our medications, decides to mutate and get stronger, who knows what will happen.
Considering it's 2025 and every day gets weirder and weirder, it wouldn't be surprising if something like that happened. All I can hope is that it doesn't happen, and if it do happen, it gets contained, because I don't need to be in The Walking Dead or The Last of Us.
What in nations is going on? Throughout history, there's been many reports of humans encountering a tribe of headless humanoid beings. It wasn't just that they had no head, but their facial features was in their chest. Even in India, there was reports of these headless beings. There was even an old map locating where you could find them, and apparently they used to hang around with the guy with the 1 foot. But what are they? Various species of mythical headless men were rumored in antiquity and later to inhabit remote parts of the world. They are variously known as Akapafli, headless ones, or Blimis, and described as lacking a head with their facial features on their chest. These were at first described as inhabitants of ancient Libya or the Nile system. Later traditions confined their habitat to a particular island in the Brisbane River or shifted it to India. It makes me wonder, what if the map that we're using doesn't show everywhere? What if there's some uncharted regions where these headless men live? Because behind every myth, there's always some truth. And I don't know if this is a disability or some type of deformity, but it turns out these things were real.
Alon, every myth do have some type of truth behind it. Could it be more to this planet that we're not aware of? I would think so. I mean, not like the government tell us everything anyway. Something like that could have lived thousands of years ago and could have got wiped out, just like some people say the giants. Well, I guess we'll just never know because they're never going to release to the public.
Switzerland are quietly preparing for the end of the world, and they've been hustling for decades. You wouldn't know it by just looking at them, but underneath around 60% of the Swiss Alps, they've built a city of doomsday bunkers that can protect hundreds of thousands of people in a catastrophic event. In fact, Switzerland is the only country in the world that can house their entire population, 8.7 million people, in a secure bunker. And they're not just old, forgotten World War II structures slowly crumbling away. They are continuously updated and restocked with supplies till this day. You see, Switzerland decided they needed to, excuse the pun, lock in after Germany promised to not invade them during World War II. They not only transformed the peaceful Swiss Alps into an absolute fortress and rigged it with enough explosives to collapse entire mountainsides, but the Swiss government also made it a law for homes, schools, hospitals, and other public buildings to install protective shelters, and that policy remains till this day, meaning the entire country is designed in a way that wherever you go, whether it's a restaurant, a park, or a friend's house, there's always a doomsday bunker nearby. According to official figures, Switzerland currently has around 300,000 bunkers across the country, which can accommodate roughly 9.3 million people. That's over 500,000 more than the country's current population. And once they're safely inside, they can even remotely detonate things like roads, bridges, tunnels, and railways to keep out invaders, or I guess, the unprepared.
That's how the government should be spending this money for its citizens, for situations that you can't avoid. I would hope it's never a situation where they need to use it, but if somehow the end of the world happened or something, they might be one of the civilizations that stay around because of they think in their head.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all, the Lil Nas X video of him walking around the streets, this man looked possessed, and he sound possessed too. This man was walking the streets, y'all, at 4 in the morning with tidy whiteys on, some Fruit of the Looms type shit. A guy started recording him. This man was just humming some, I don't know what the fuck it was, but me looking at him, you could tell that man was not in the right mindset. He said to the driver who was recording him, "Don't be late to the party." And the dude was like, "What party?" And then he just looked at the driver and kept walking, humming and shit, with cowboy boots on. This whole video was weird. The dude ended up calling the police on Lil Nas X, and then they said they came, and he ended up charging at the police. I'm telling y'all, this industry shit is weird. This man probably was possessed. Y'all, look at this shit.
Nah, hey. We're gonna be late to the party tonight. Where at? You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. Nah. Go ahead, babe. Nah. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down?
What the fuck, y'all?
That's what I have to pay for that.
So what do y'all think just looking at that video? I'm telling you, that man was off his rocker. I need y'all thoughts down below. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Don't forget to share, like, and comment. Yeah, Lil Nas X is cooked. But y'all, the video, his face, something going on, fool. He looked like he lost, like, did I really do this? I'm telling y'all, something was going on with Buddy. He was possessed to some shit, and I know why. Because he chose to be on the other side. Y'all see what happened when you go against God, right? Prime example. He has on Fruit of the Looms. His favorite candy is Fruities. He didn't mock God so many times, y'all. But y'all, look at this video and y'all tell me I'm not tripping. Like, he just looked like, damn, I don't know what the hell was going on. Look at this man's face, y'all. He just looked like he dumbfounded, like he just lost for words. Like he really don't know what happened that night. Am I tripping? Look at him. He don't even look like the same person. Go back and watch that video when he was outside. That don't look like him, fool. They look like two different people. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And I'm damn sure not flying. This man is now facing 4 counts. If he ever wanted to get out that system, he could go ahead and kiss that shit goodbye. They got that over his head. He's cooked.
Why do we keep saying this over and over again? If you're older, you probably are familiar with Martin Lawrence walked outside with a underwear and a robe, and he was running, talking about they coming after him. Now this person talking about a party. You know, some people say that they're not possessed. That is actually a part of the cloning process. I don't know which one it could be. It could be a drug episode, but regardless, all I know is he made a lot of bad decisions. Even if you don't believe in religion, I don't think you should mock it. I think that's just, you messing with stuff you got no business messing with it. You can't comprehend. Doesn't matter if you don't think it's real or not. So I don't know what's gonna happen to him. It could just be a stunt, you know, to try to get him back into the public again. But the way he's looking, I don't think that's the case. I think he just had a bad trip on something, or something else went in him. I don't know what it is, but regardless of what you want to call it, I don't think that's fake. But he definitely going to be paying the price.
Who the heck is this? Go on, tell me. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess who this is. I'm waiting. This isn't who I remember, you guys. Who the heck are you, lady? I don't think so. Any guesses yet before I expose one of the dozens of 2.0s in Hollywood? You guys are messing with people's eyes and their brains. How are we going from Adele's little sister to this? What's going on, guys? I really feel like we're in the Twilight Zone right now. Are these the same people? How are they reversing age, you guys? She looks younger here than she did a decade ago. How? Another thing that's bothering me is, why are all these celebrities channeling the 1950s? What was happening in the 1950s? I first recognized it when I saw Shania Twain 2.0, who used to look like this, by the way, acting like a Stepford wife, guys. Completely robotic. And then we had the Kate Beckinsale 2.0, who used to look like this, by the way, showing up at an event looking like a 1950s ballerina. What's happening? Jessie Murph, 1950s style. Sabrina Carpenter, 1950s style. They're all channeling the 1950s style. And if you were to put Kesha, Paris Hilton, Meghan Trainor, Sabrina Carpenter all in the same outfit, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. I mean, with Kesha, it makes sense because she was Paris Hilton's little discovery in 2005 on The Simple Life, if you don't remember. But how they got Paris Hilton to go from this to that, mind blown. What is going on in Hollywood, and how are we going from this to this? I need answers immediately.
Them surgeons are precise. It look like she lost 15 years age-wise. I know when you lose weight, some people will start to look younger, but that's a combination of like Botox, maybe some type of weight loss. Because let's be real, most of these celebrities aren't losing weight naturally. They're using Ozempic or something. And maybe some other type of plastic surgery. Regardless, like, I don't know what the obsession is with the 50s. But hey, I'll say it's better than with the other stuff we've been seeing from music people not too long ago with the rituals and satanic rituals and things like that. I've asked the 1950s, but it must have some type of symbol meaning or something for all the celebrities, especially the females, to start doing it all of a sudden. Because if you look at most of the 50s for women, that wasn't a good time for a lot of them. There's a reason why a lot of things changed for women for the better.
So it's looking a whole lot like we have a massive spaceship that's headed towards our Earth that's going to be here either in October or November. It's kind of flip-flopping back and forth. And then, of course, we have the 2-week thing that's come out of I can't find out where. But Avi Loeb has done so many interviews at this point that I'm officially leaning towards the spaceship side of this. Because he's saying that it's like 20 kilometers, is around 12 and a half miles, which is the size of Manhattan Island. It is the size of Manhattan. That is wild. On top of that, it also is made of some sort of substance. They don't know what it's made of. They can't figure out what it's not like any other comet that's ever existed that we've noticed since we've started monitoring the skies, or at least that's been documented since we started monitoring the skies. Woosah, I gotta calm down. I'm very excited about this. But it is reflecting. So we have a reflective object that looks like it's probably technological in nature, and then it also doesn't have a trail. It doesn't
actually had something like that happen to me before when I was in my early 20s. Nobody was in the apartment, and I was waking up, and a cup was being thrown in my direction. I remember because it was one of those really big plastic black cups. Made me think about it because I saw the pot floating. You know, a lot of times my brain try to rationalize and be like, stuff like that is impossible. But I personally had experience with things like that happening. So I can't deny that it's possible, even though most of the time the stuff is edited.
Okay, so I've been looking for this footage for years. I seen this years ago. And somebody was filming a baseball game. You know, their kids were at a baseball game. And they, you know, these are, I think it's one or two, it might be two interdimensional beings, but he didn't see them. When he went back and checked the video, then he noticed it in the video, you know? But you know, they couldn't see it with the, you know, he couldn't see it with his naked eye. Nobody can see it with their naked eyes, you know? And I love this one. I love this one. I've been looking for this for years. This took place in Mexico in 2014. And if you go to my YouTube channel, it's called Gray Octopussy. That's why I always put that Gray Octopussy on YouTube. I did a full video and I show other interdimensional beings, you know, on my presentation of this. So go to my YouTube channel if you want to see more like this. All right? Let me know what you think.
I saw something like that in camera after a baseball game that I recorded. I'm not going back there. But I'm kidding. Knowing me, how curious I am as a person, I probably will be going back to try to get more footage. And that's how you get hurt in situations like that, I guess. Well, in the movies anyway, right?
I've been telling everybody how aliens can cloak themselves with their uniforms that they wear. You have tall ones, you have short ones. Now you're going to see a video coming here of the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen. This is why I tell you, those ghost hunters are not chasing ghosts. They're chasing aliens that are cloaked. The little white spheres you see in ghost hunting videos, those are not spirits. Those are microspheres that are spying on us. They can go right through the walls, record everything we're doing, take biometric scans of us, see what we have diseases, what kind of food problems we might be having, how it's affecting our bodies. There's all kinds of things that we know in the government what those are, but ghost hunters really like to think they're chasing ghosts. This video is going to change your mind. When I tell you aliens can cloak themselves like their ships they cloak, check this out.
So for a while now, I've been putting out a trail cam at night, hoping to catch some wildlife around camp while we're sleeping. And with my granddaughter, who just loves wildlife. How cool could it be if I could show her some night pictures of what's walking around at night while we're sleeping? Now, I must admit, I haven't had any luck so far. I've put out the camera many times and never captured any footage. But tonight was different.
Just another reason why I don't want to live in a place where it's a lot of nature. That is some terrifying footage to find. But it would make sense that if aliens can cloak ships, they would be able to have type of technology to cloak their bodies. But my question is, why are they scanning people for diseases and stuff? I don't know. The whole alien thing, there's so many different theories out there. My mind just get blown thinking about them. Like I said, aliens is the one thing that terrified me since I was a kid. So now they can cloak. Hey man, that's something to think about when I'm trying to go to sleep. Oh my goodness.
The gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my 40s.
that? Pee? A lot of golden showers in
The
Burbank.
gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice. You never offered the gold juice?
No, I'm a scumbag comic. What's the gold juice?
I don't know, but I didn't drink it and I didn't want it. And
is this
I noticed when all the girls, certain girls on Orange, changed. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like a real thing. Like it's all a real thing. And it's scary because they send like people after you and they can like kind of moonlight as like a friend or, you know, and they're wolf in sheep's clothing and listen, you can have everything you want, all the fame in the world, all the money. I'm like, what if I just drank it, but then you know what I mean? Like, what if and I don't know what it is. If it's a metaphor for the gold juice, like, you feel what I'm saying?
Mostly.
And,
if there's a tincture that makes you younger, I better know you better let me in on this. If adrenochrome's real, I'll be first in line.
You don't drink the gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my 40s.
That? Pee? A lot of golden showers.
People are saying, parents, whatever you do not enter your baby into the Baby of the Year contest. Allegedly, the Baby of the Year contest is a big child trafficking scam. Mind you, I went down a rabbit hole, seen too many videos of too many women saying that was a scam, a child trafficking scam. What they do is they have you upload a picture of your baby to their website. And digitally, you can do each and everything you want with those pictures. Red flag number 1. And red flag number 2 is worse than red flag number 1. People are saying that people's children have become missing. So I say to you again, do not enter your baby into the Baby of the Year contest. We have to do each and everything to protect our babies, to protect our children. And if there are things like this, they need to get rid of them, and they need to get rid of them fast. Hit that search bar. Put in Baby of the Year contest 1. Put in Baby of the Year contest scam, and see how many people tell you stories about these people, what they do or what they try and do to these babies. Now, once again, I don't know if it's 100% true, but what I can tell you is I'm taking every single word for it, because you can't trust a lot of people, and especially with your children, you can't trust anyone. I'm out.
Yeah, why would you want to have your child on Baby of the Year anyway? I don't get it. I mean, I have a 15-month, and I wouldn't want her on any type of public website or anything. For something like a contest too, who knows who's looking at it or anything else? I think I'll pass.
Ain't no way this is Zac Efron, y'all. There's no fucking way. What the happened to Zac Efron, y'all? Am I lost? This is Zac Efron in 2025? This man look like Efron Zac. So y'all telling me right now that this is the same person that played in High School Musical, Zac Efron. This was a couple years ago. So how the hell he go from this to this? It looked like on this picture he was swimming with the puffer fish. Nah, y'all, I'm being dead ass serious. What the be going on in Hollywood, y'all? They said right here was in 2021. Right here is 2025. What, he had a daddy makeover? Do he even got kids? Is this what men do? Did he get jawline surgery? Did his whole face get changed from plastic surgery? Somebody let me know down below in the comments. Who the fuck is this really? Is this really Zac Efron?
Scientists just figured out how to reverse aging with AI. And this is a massive breakthrough. We can now reprogram any human cell back to age 20. Heart cells, skin cells, brain cells, all reset to their biological prime. But here's the wildest part. The technology to do this has existed since 2012. It won the Nobel Prize. But the real breakthrough wasn't possible until this year, when they supercharged it with AI. It's a wild story. So in 2006, scientists discovered Yamanaka factors. They're proteins that can basically convert any normal cell into a universal stem cell. Now, this discovery was a huge deal because these stem cells are basically like magic healers. If you have torn muscle tissue, you can inject these stem cells into the area and they will turn into the youthful muscle cells that you need. So Yamanaka factors were an insane breakthrough because they allowed any human to turn any cell you already have into a magic healer. But there was one big problem. It turns out the original Yamanaka factors weren't very good at this stem cell conversion. They could do it, but they just weren't reliable enough to make a product. Enter OpenAI. And this is where things get crazy. OpenAI designed a special AI model built specifically to create new proteins. Think of it like ChatGPT, but for protein engineering. So they took all the original Yamanaka research and gave it to this AI model to go ham on improving it. And guess what happened? Their new version is 50 times more effective than the original. They tested it on 50-year-old cells, and it successfully started repairing 30% of the cells in just 7 days. And this isn't science fiction. This actually happened. And it sounds crazy, but in a few years, humans will be able to take a shot that literally reverses the age of their cells. Shout out science.
Yeah, I think I'll pass unless you're giving it out to every single person, which I know you won't. I'm surprised that's even public info he just gave out. You know that's only going to the elites and billionaires. If it comes to the public, they got a super version of it, the billionaires, and they didn't have it for decades. some of the stuff we seeing on TikTok would make sense with some of these celebrities and stuff then, if things like that's been out for a while and it's just being known to us now.
Do you remember last year when a company that was funded by the Australian military immersed tiny human brains grown in jars in Game World, demonstrated that they were sentient, but also kind of sort of created the Matrix? Well, it's gotten a lot better. What you're seeing behind me is a virtual world where brain organoids were given a butterfly body. They're receiving sensory input from a game world. They weren't trained or taught to do this, they were just given the body. If they were to think they were anything, they'd probably think they're a butterfly. Yes, this is the very same Swiss company that is selling brain organoid computation as a subscription model where you can rent out 16 tiny brains and have them work for you. This is truly an amazing feat in computation, engineering, and biological sciences. But we are essentially creating and perfecting the Matrix. I actually found out about this because Final Spark let me join their Discord, and I'm waiting for them to regret it. Please don't kick me out of Discord. If this kind of progress happened in a year, imagine where we'll be in 10. This tells us a lot about how we can connect a human brain to machines. They also sent me this video. This is one of the very first brain organoid robots. This all happened around 2008. A brain in a jar is remotely controlling this little guy here. This is what happens when we give them sensory input in the real world. I've also been informed that these are technically cyborgs. I really give it just 1 year before somebody pops it into a humanoid robot if it hasn't already been done.
The Republicans were criticizing you, oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, hey, I don't run around in the woods naked. What did that mean?
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But there's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really?
I'm sorry, you took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film. And did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them up after.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understandings. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual genuinely?
Sir, everything. I don't owe you this comment.
I know. I appreciate it.
This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you and goodbye.
Been in the ritual?
That's none of your damn business.
Oh,
that's right. Listen. You go around and make understandings with people and violate them. You ambush people on the streets when that's inappropriate form of journalism. If you wish to practice that, that's fine, but don't ask others to respect you for it. If you want to, you can do. You're free American, like anything you want. If you want to be uncivil and rude and ungentlemanly, that's up to you. But don't expect the rest of us to say, "Oh well, you're
there, Mr. Gergen."
I'm sorry, nobody sets policy in there. We try to be gentlemen, and obviously, you don't belong there.
Weaving spiders come out here. Yeah, that is a 3-pointer. Woo!
Oh, we've got your ass. We've got your ass now. There's nothing new under the sun. Anything they're doing now has already been done. What you know about artificial humans and clones? At these world fairs, they would have incubators with premature babies on display. And people would come and pay just to look at these babies for entertainment. But you see, the thing is, that's what these elites like to do. They like to get you involved in their corruption and even charge you for it. People often ask me, after the last reset, where did they get all the people to repopulate the cities? And with the orphan trains, where did they get all the orphans from? And where was the parents? But that's just it. These children didn't have no parents. They was artificially created in these labs. And some was put on display at these fairs. Baby incubators for sale. Complete installations as operated by us. The hospitals and amusement parks. Like, it's one thing to have a baby incubator, but where are you getting all of these babies from? We make jokes about people being NPCs, bots, or soulless, but that's just the thing. Some things ain't a joke, because some things just ain't funny.
So funny, but not really. I mean, so ironic that I was just talking to my wife about this last night. I was saying that, you know, back in the day, they had so many kids, because I was watching something about pregnancy back in the 1800s and 1900s, and how much better medicine got, but how everything else got worse, and how like people barely have enough money to do anything. That's why they're not having kids. And I'm just like, if we're making all this food that's hurting people that could potentially, you know, off them off, why would you have something like that? Well, eventually you're not going to have nothing. Now this was like, well, that's because maybe at some point they're going to have like AI that can like make babies and stuff by taking people eggs and sperm instead of having to do anything together. Because the more AI gets more popular and stronger, eventually we're going to have AI androids and companions with people, and they're not going to interact with regular people like anymore. That's going to cause more isolation, which is exactly what people want, you know, like, and then they can just use AI to do that. That's how, if I was a government, that's what I'd be thinking, how to deal with the humans to potentially going extinct in the next couple of 100 years is AI. AI could, or androids could possibly do that. I mean, we as humans can make just about anything else, so what will be stopping us from making something like that? And that would solve all types of issues. So that's very ironic that he's showing something that happened. If what he's saying is true, I feel like that was at least a century ago, or later, I mean, earlier, I guess. Regardless, I guess they already thought about that before, huh? So.
Now, I just opened up this can, and I know damn well ain't no fucking condensed milk is brown.
What the fuck is this? I ain't never seen no yolk the same color as the egg.
Yeah, I swear I've had this watermelon for maybe 4 or 5 days. Went out of town, came back, it literally exploded. Look at this.
The whole piece of fish. Just gone. Look at that. It's like...
For those of y'all that don't believe that there's something wrong with our food, well, when the damn bugs and the birds ain't eating it, there's something wrong with it.
That first word, that's why they're 50% off.
Here we are yet again, almost a month in, and this stuff is not melted yet. And look at this right here, look at this. And y'all gonna say, oh, because, or some of y'all gonna be like, oh, it's got xanthan gum in it, look.
A horrifying encounter captured on camera in the quiet hills of Italy. A man sleeping in his home wakes to movement outside his window. He grabs his phone and records what may be the most terrifying footage we've ever seen. There, pacing slowly back and forth, is a tall, black-eyed figure, humanoid, but not human. Its limbs are too long, its head tilted, silent, watching, waiting. It approaches the front door over and over like it's testing whether it can get in. Thank God for iron bars. If not for those bars, experts say this being, whatever it is, might have entered the home. And once inside, We don't know what happens next. The video hasn't been verified. We don't know if it's real, but AI analysis shows no signs of digital manipulation. The lighting matches, the shadows align. This wasn't faked on a phone screen or projected from outside. Is it an animal distorted by night vision or something worse? UFO researchers call these entities biological drones, android-like extraterrestrials sent here for surveillance, biological harvesting, even abductions under cover of darkness. Some believe they're scientists from another world studying us. They're at our doors. One man claims he's seen one before, that he has proof hidden away too disturbing to release. So tell me, what do you think walked up to that door? Alien? Forest creature caught on camera? Or something Earth never made? Comment below, because one thing's certain, this was not supposed to be filmed, and now that we've seen it, they might know we're watching back. Don't sleep with your windows open tonight.
In my opinion, if an alien want to get in your house, they're probably going to get in. They probably have numerous ways to get in. I think most of them just like to observe us. Like I said, if you want to read some of these stories, they're on abductions Reddit. I don't know if all of them are real. It could be other stuff, but I've always been afraid of aliens. It goes all the way back to when I was a kid, not because anything happened to me. It's a long story, it's something stupid, but now that I like common knowledge that, you know, other things are among us, it's pretty scary, because it's like, what if one was to come in your house? You know, would whatever you got, would it even work on them? There's just so many things we don't know that the government won't tell us. Well, maybe it's the government doing something. I don't know. We don't know. We don't have enough information. My question for the audience is, have you ever experienced something like that? If you have, leave a comment below. I would love to read it, and I'm sure other people that are watching this video would love to read it too.
People are saying all of this Diddy commotion isn't the thing we should be looking at. This is all the distraction. Okay. The theory goes, literally the same time Diddy got arrested, something huge happened just now, and it's around 23andMe. What happened? So it's a DNA ancestry company that pretty much takes your saliva, they test it, and it shows your ancestry. Well, what do they have? Your DNA samples. Of pretty much everyone in the world that wanted to find out their ancestry. Yeah, so what happened? When this whole commotion is on the rise, just so happens every single board member of 23andMe quit all at the same time. So there's hella theories going on, right? I did not. Hella theories going on. First off, did you know the CEO at the time, you know who it was? Who? It was the wife of the owner of YouTube and Google. Wait, the girl? Yeah, the wife owned 23andMe, but the husband owned Google. Theory goes that the reason all of those board members left is because there's some things going on that are going to be very unethical in the future of the company. Now, speculation states what's happening. They have all of our data, even DNA data. On top of that, they have Google search engine. They have every single piece of information about you, including your biochemistry, bro. Yeah. They're so fucking smart, though. If you think about it, what's the future of commerce where they can sell you things and you have to pay for it? What's one thing that you'll spend all your money for? Because if you don't, it's over. Food and water, yeah. Health. So if you think about it, they have every single person's DNA ancestry. They can look at all the diseases or all of the natural ways your body is lean to, where they can give you a cure. And one of the cures they want to sell you is anti-aging.
Never did anything for 23andMe. Have you? I always thought it was weird. Like, why would I want to give my DNA to a company? I don't really trust companies like that, so I would never do something like that. But that's crazy. They were married to Google and 23andMe. You know they did something with that data. And what type of stuff was they talking about? Work-related stuff at home. That is crazy to me. I would have never guessed that they were married. I don't know what Google going to do with that information, but, you know, I guess we'll find in the future. Things are getting more crazier. Technology is getting more and more invasive to me. You know, the whole thing with the, prove you 18 and older on almost every website because we're trying to protect the kids, which I don't think is true, because what about Roblox and everything else? that kids use, or Discord and other things that they don't do anything about. They just want to monitor us and see what we're doing. You could be like, well, they're already doing that, but I think they want to do more. That's what I think. And that's why certain websites, certain adult sites said no, and then just made it so they didn't do it and they got banned in those states. Because who wants to have their government ID attached to the things they look at for adult activities? Would you want that data out there? And imagine what they would do with that data. So I feel like enough is enough, but who knows what's going to happen in the future. So, but we know technology will get more and more invasive.
Now shit's starting to get weird. Those who don't know, there was a song that released in 1990 titled Watch Out for 666. The song basically exposed the idea of the New World Order implanting computer chips in people's brains. It was very similar to what Elon Musk is trying to do with Neuralink. And when looking at numerology, the letter X is usually associated with the number 6. And when looking at the companies that Elon Musk owns, X, SpaceX, and then Tesla, you got the Model X. It rounds up to 666, which made people come to the conclusion that Neuralink might be the mark of the beast. I don't really know what to think about this, but y'all listen to the song and let me know what y'all think down below in the comments.
Within the new 666 world order.
Obviously, YouTube is going to take down the music video, so I'll just tell you pretty much what it was saying. It pretty much saying is watch out for the tiny chip that they're going to implant in people's heads that's going to connect to the central system, aka a computer, which I don't know if the government has a central computer yet, but if it don't, they're probably building it right now. Because all the surveillance that's going on, it wouldn't be surprising. I saw a video recently talking about some of the things you see when you're driving. It's like this pole, but the pole is actually used not by the government, but from a third party. So a corporation that is collecting data of license plates everywhere you drive, everywhere. And then it gives it to the cops. So they can just find you like that. They know your driver habits and everything. And they just showed up in certain cities overnight. Kind of like other things that happen. So yeah, do I think Neuralink will people use Neuralink? I don't think so. That's just what I think. I think it'll be something much smaller than Neuralink if something like that was ever happen. I don't think most people would be okay with something like this big going into your brain. I think if it's something smaller, less invasive, people definitely would do it because people won't even think about the bad stuff that will come from it. They think about the conveniences. Having something in your brain. I can get information from Google, talk directly to AI, etc., etc. But you're not thinking about how you can get hacked, how it's the sign of some symbolism in certain books, and so on. But mainly the hacking part too, and the beginning of the end times. If you believe that. So I wouldn't touch nothing like that. But according to the Bible, they say you won't really have much of a choice. Like you won't be able to buy anything. So we'll see what happens. That's crazy. That song came out that long ago, and it was talking about a computer chip in your brain and a central computer system. I found that very fascinating. That's pretty much what's going to be happening in the future. I don't even know if it's going to be something going in your brain. It could be something that like the chip that's on your debit card. They might try to make a thing that get transplanted on your hand or something that you could just swipe like that. Who knows what it's going to be? But we know, like I said, technology is going to get more and more like pushing boundaries on what is ethical and what's not ethical, in my opinion.
Okay, so tomorrow I'm at work and I was about to take out the trash and I just got a text from the lady who works here, and she said, "Hey Shay, just want to let you know that everyone has left, so you can go vacuum the other side." I was like, "Okay, yes, ma'am." And she said, "Just me there?" And I asked, I said, "Just me there?" She's like, "Yes." Y'all, I'm scared as f*** because when I went outside, there are no cars out there besides my work van. And I'm so scared. So tell me why, if I'm the only one here, who the f*** is this? Like, who the f*** is that? Like, y'all, I'm not tripping. That's somebody in that f*** room and they just sitting there. Who the f*** is that? Like, they just sitting there. I'm about to f***ing call, because I'm like, how, and I just call her. I say, hey, you sure I'm the only one here? She's like, yeah, look at the cameras. You're the only one there. I'm saying about the cars there. And I said, someone is in one of the booths. And she was like, in the booths? I was like, yeah, someone is in one of the booths. What the y'all ain't no lock on this f***ing door. Hey, there's no lock on this door. But you know I'm black, right? And I don't play this. I'm alright, I'm gonna tough it up and just open the door. Nope. Hell nah, cuz, nope.
Shay is supposed to be all alone in the building, but someone or something seems to be sitting in a chair pressed right up against a glass door at the end of the hall. They're not moving, and they're not reacting. Shay hides in the closet, gathers her courage, and then heads out to confront the person. But there's no one there. With that, Shay has had about enough. She calls her supervisor to come check out the office building for an intruder, or whatever this is. And Shay takes the back stairs and exits the building. But here is where it gets really weird, because Shay's supervisor comes and checks out the entire building and finds no one there. Also, her supervisor reviews the security camera footage that monitors anyone entering or leaving the building. And whoever this person was, they never left. This person never showed up on any of the building's security cameras.
My question is, in situations like that, why not just call the cops? I know you at work, you know, maybe you don't want to make a scene or whatever, but why not just call the cops and leave out the building? Maybe it was something like a coat stand or something that was there. I doubt it. You know, as we've seen on this channel, there's plenty of evidence of showing that paranormal exists, ghosts exist. You know, sometimes the camera pick them up, sometimes they don't. I think they go in different dimensions. I think that's why they phase in and out of our dimension like that. I don't think they're bound by space or time. So it wouldn't have mattered if, I guess, somebody would have came in it. But that is a terrifying experience. It almost reminded me of like a horror game when she grabbed the scissors and was like holding them. You know, if you ever played horror games, I don't know if my audience played video games, but it's just a disturbing situation to be in, regardless of if it's fake or not. If it was a real occurrence, it would be scary. That's all the videos I have for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, a sub, and a comment. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.
Whoa, there's one! Whoa! Guard! Oh my God.
Daughter, but that's not what's most interesting. I want you to look into them eyes.
Your kids are playing Roblox. Satan is after your children. There's a version in this game called Demonology.
Can't wake up? Try Ram Wake Up Service.
I'm telling you, people don't even believe in drop bears. It's just a...
Whoa, there's one! Whoa! Guard! Oh my God. Oh, get.
Whoa.
Is that your sister, Katie?
Oh my God!
That's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom?
Hold on, we gotta get a side by side. Oh my goodness.
That is scary.
She's the first. She's the prototype.
Can't wake up? Try Ram Wake Up Service. Guaranteed to wake you up.
You doctor.
That was... What is he training for? Is he going to fight Terminator or something in the future, hitting metal like that?
Now, this Prince Andrew's daughter. just so you won't be confused. Because the people in the short stream like they act like they know everything. This Prince Andrew's daughter, but that's not what's most interesting. I want you to look into them eyes. Look deep into them eyes and tell me what you see. Yeah, look at them eyes. Tell me what you see.
It seems like those eyes can see everything. I'm talking all dimensions, everything. It make you wonder, what are they? Because those eyes don't look like human to me. I'm sure that's just a bit, but
You can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family.
It looks like we've got another alien on a plane, just like last summer when that lady was saying that MF is not real. This guy seems terrified though, and so does everyone else on the plane. Here's what apparently the alien looks like as well. Looks pretty creepy to me.
If that's what he saw, I can see why he was freaking out. But he probably also was freaking out because no one else is reacting to what they saying. Are they just not saying it? Is he the only person that can say it? Who knows, right? Why the squirrel stepped to him like that, though?
I've now learned what caused the death of the man who took care of the alleged haunted Annabelle doll. Paranormal investigator Dan Rivera died suddenly back in July in a hotel room in Pennsylvania. An autopsy report revealed the Connecticut native died from natural causes related to a cardiac event. Rivera was in Gettysburg for his Devils on the Run tour, hauling the infamous Annabelle doll across the country when he died. The coroner says the doll was not in the room when Rivera died.
I don't know, maybe I'm the only person, but I know I can't be that when I hear natural causes when it comes to somebody, I just assume that something weird went on, some type of foul play or something. That when he traveled with that doll, multiple cities got worse because of it. Fires, people breaking out of jail that never broke out of jail before. I don't know. Something is weird with that doll.
Como te habíamos comentado, esto es lo que queda de campo. Lamentablemente el gobierno se quiere apropiar de toda esta tierra para hacer un basural y la verdad que es una lástima porque es lo único que queda de vegetación en esta zona. ¿Viste eso? ¿Viste eso hacia atrás? Estoy matando por acá, por arriba.
I can't blame them from leaving.
Comment book. If you want to be the first to uncover what most will never know, it's time to understand what's really behind the story.
What a wild discovery. This video just surfaced online showing a small gray extraterrestrial coming up to a man, and then later the man even gives the alien-like being a hug. Now, some say this was just a hoax made to get views, but others believe it's real, saying the creatures are actually androids or robots, supposedly working for a different species of alien who is not robotic. But whether it's real or fake, this footage at least gives us an idea of what these beings might look like. And if they're out there, would you want to meet one? Personally, I'd be a bit scared to meet an alien, especially if it came up and hugged me unexpectedly. I mean, we have no idea what their intentions are. But I have to admit, the idea of there being other life forms out there in the universe is kind of cool. Who knows what they could teach us? And besides, it's not like we're the only life in the universe. We're made from the same building blocks as the universe itself. So why should it?
I would be freaked out if an alien tried to hug me, but come on now, I think we all can agree that's probably a kid in a costume. I don't believe a gray would be that small, and it just seemed like a kid to me. What do you think? You think it's real?
Breaking space news. 2 days ago, astronomers confirmed that an interstellar object has entered our solar system, came from somewhere else, traveled through space, and it's here now. This is only the third interstellar object ever identified in our solar system. First was Oumuamua, and we still don't know much about this one. And then an interstellar comet passed in 2019. Okay, and then an object hit Earth in 2014 that could have been interstellar, but we didn't confirm it, so this might be the fourth. Here it is. It's most likely a comet because it does seem to have a little tail like comets do, and this will probably change, but right now they think it's about 12 miles in diameter and about 420 million miles away from us. But it is coming closer, and it's going to reach its closest point in October, and it's going to be about twice the distance from the sun as we are. It will get much closer to Mars. It will be moving about 42 miles per second. This is by far the fastest interstellar object we've ever seen. Hopefully, as it gets closer, we'll be able to learn more about it and what stuff outside of our solar system is like.
I guess it's just me, but stuff like that just never interests me. Like, space just was never interesting to me at all, even as a kid. I learned about the planets, that's cool. But an asteroid coming, it's like, unless it's going to crash here, they got some type of technology on it that can better human lives, I could care less, personally. But even if something like that was to happen, it's not like NASA would tell us anyway, right?
Wait a minute, there's no way this is right. In this classic 90s Britney Spears music video, Hit Me Baby One More Time, her skirt was plaid, right? Wait, what? No, there's no way. And while we're on Britney Spears, she had a microphone in this video, didn't she? Like the one that attaches? Where did that go? Oh, you're saying she never had it? Well, then why did Lizzie McGuire have one when she parodied the video? And why did the doll have it? And do you remember Snuffy, Big Bird's companion from Sesame Street? Do you remember his full name? Snuffleupagus, right? Wrong, it was apparently Snuffleupagus. And do you remember Tweedledee and Tweedledum from Alice in Wonderland? And the little propellers on their hats, right? Wrong, they were apparently flags. And you remember the Disney theme opening where Tinkerbell flies in and dots the I? I guess Disney says that actually never happened. My guess is maybe we're confusing it with this one. Let me know which ones you remember.
Britney Spears with the plaid skirt, I remember that. I think I also remember her having the headset on too. It looked kind of weird without her having it on. But I definitely remember the plaid skirt because I kind of had a crush on her when I was younger. Maybe it's just different timelines, like some people say. Some people were from timeline 1, from timeline 2, so maybe they have different. Maybe in timeline 2 it was a black skirt, in timeline 1 it was plaid. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You think this is real? You think that she had the plaid skirt or a black skirt? Let me know. Let me know what you think.
Remember when Britney Spears went crazy? This is what really happened.
Asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah.
As fans are becoming increasingly worried for Britney Spears' safety, Kanye West is speaking out on how Hollywood handlers destroyed Britney with lithium. Kanye himself was put on lithium following his 2016 hospitalization, but he claimed the dose they gave him was much stronger than he needed. And this is exactly what Britney said during her conservatorship hearing, when she revealed her team forced her to take a high dose of lithium just because she refused to do a dance move.
My therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was a false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to.
But what exactly did Kanye say about Hollywood handlers and lithium? Are Britney's handlers again giving her lithium to stop her from talking about her conservatorship?
You know the first time I ever took medication why I was? Because I got mad at paparazzi.
I'm so sorry.
You know what paparazzi was?
No.
The same one that shot Britney.
No.
I do think it is some suspicion when it comes to the handlers. I think it's just as deep as they want the person money. Same thing I think that happened to MJ. I think they just wanted his money from Britney Spears. I think her parents just wanted her money and other people that worked around her. And I think Kanye, they want his money, and they are currently siphoning his money while he is on gas that you inhale. Apparently he takes that like all the time. So I do think that Hollywood higher ups do try to get them on drugs and things like that to manipulate and control them. I'm not sure what lithium does. So if you do know what it does, please let me know in the comments.
I'm turning it down.
It shot a lot again. Look, it's the, oh my God.
I'm turning down 11.
What the is that?
All right. I just had to call it. So you look in the sky. Just look in the sky.
It's shooting the light down. What the is that? It look like it's taking somebody.
Shut up.
What the is that? Look, it did it again.
Babe, why are you so loud?
Look, babe.
I see it, babe.
It's shooting the light down. What the is that?
You showing me on the phone and I see it right in the car.
Oh my God.
Where is they shining that light?
What the
is they shining it? No, that's in the sky. What the is in the sky, yo?
What the is that, y'all?
And it's look like it's over there by campus. Man, are we the only one that's seeing this?
Bro.
Hey, don't just wind your window.
Hey, roll your window down. You see that
in the sky?
What is that?
Where?
Right here. Look. That red.
Hey,
what the is that?
Yeah,
Yo, what light is some shit in the air, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, it's red. Yo, look at that.
See that? We going.
It's shooting the light down, bro.
That person is literally disbelief. That's why they keep saying, what the F is that? I'm kind of speechless because it's just like, that dude look like it could be abducting something. If it's a UAP, it could be them using drones. It could be, some people will say that's Project Bluebeam. They just testing something. Just like in the beginning of the video where it showed that projection of that person just looking. It's just, on my previous video, I think I showed that, but it's just, I don't know what that could be. And besides, it could be in a UAP. Let me know what you think it is in the comments below, because y'all probably will have more knowledge of that stuff than I do.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet.
You won't believe what this parrot did. This bird swore it wouldn't hurt her, but then it did. She was just chilling with her bird, Coco, when things got weird, and what happened next was totally unexpected. Coco started talking back. Coco said, "I'm not gonna hurt you," but seconds later it snapped at her. The creepy part, it kept repeating the same line like it was mocking her. "I'm not gonna hurt you," over and over, until it actually did. Was this bird possessed? What would you do if this happened to you? Let me know.
I love you. I think we just need some time before we do that, okay? See, that's why.
What's the matter?
I still think you're gonna bite me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
see? That's why. See? You scared me. You tried to hurt.
If you see this bug in your house or outside somewhere, get away from it or get rid of it as fast as possible. This is a kissing bug, and it's already spreaded a rare and deadly disease named Chagas across 32 different states. The crazy part is that the people who have it may not even know they have it. The disease is hitting places like Texas and the southern US in general hard, but experts are also saying that up to 100,000 people in California could be infected without even knowing. And that's because the bug spreads a parasite to human beings that remains dormant for 50 or 60 years and isn't really found until a person has a stroke or heart attack. Unfortunately, by that time, the parasite will be discovered, but it's already caused major heart problems, and for many, it'll be too late. The wildest part is that these bugs aren't even that rare. I've personally seen them before. Sometimes they'll be on windowsills or flying around by lights outside. The good news is that the parasite and disease is treatable. People have already gone to get tested, so if you've had encounters with this bug, gotten bitten by it, anything, or it's just in your house maybe, go ahead and get tested because you just never know.
I used to do electrical work about 6-7 years ago at a school. I came across one, and that's the first time I heard about the kissing bug. I actually saw the bug looked it up because I wasn't sure what it was. Couldn't tell if it was a stink bug, but it looked a little too bright to be a stink bug. As soon as I saw what it was called an assassin bug. I immediately went back and killed it. I stomped the crap out of that thing because it was just like, when I found out what it could do, I was like, it gotta go. That's too dangerous. Welcome to the channel. It's me, Vandal. Hope you have an excellent day. I just want to give a quick thanks to everyone for the 60K subs. That is unbelievable to me. But it wouldn't be possible without every single one of you watching this video and watching my videos in general. Today I have some very interesting videos that I know you will enjoy. So sit back, relax, enough of me yapping, and let's get to the videos.
Störning möjligen. Hälso- och sjukvården.
More and more theaters are being shut down during the screening of this movie due to demonic possession. I'll be honest, I think the demon was already in them before they got there, and then when Ed starts reading the rights, it just brings it out of them. And you've probably already seen this video of this dude's demons coming out while watching this movie.
I don't think I'll wait until that goes on streaming services if I even do watch that. But hey, it could be a good way to find out if there's any bad people around you, right?
Stop, 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 stop.
Did you see what just happened there? That was a magpie during magpie swooping season, where the males become extremely aggressive if you come even remotely close to their young. This bird literally buried its beak in her eye as she was walking by. This typically happens in Australia during this fall season. Please be careful out there.
Not all chest pain comes from the heart. This one stabs you underneath the nipple, makes it hard for you to breathe, and then disappears as if nothing ever happened. The pain is so specific you can point to it with one finger. This is precordial catch syndrome. It's an irritation of the nerve in the chest. There is no cure, but also no danger. It's just a terrifying few seconds, and you do grow out of it usually.
Have you ever had a pain like that before? Because I have. If I don't eat for after a certain amount of time, let's say 12 hours plus, if I'm fasting or something, when I do drink water or eat anything, I'll get a somewhat strong pain that is noticeable. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But then it goes away so fast. I've never experienced what they're showing, how intense they're showing. I've never been on the ground. I hope I never experience that. But if you do, leave a comment below.
It is 100% confirmed that Charlie Kirk has officially passed away. As you can see right here, it says by the Associated Press, breaking: conservative activist Charlie Kirk has died after being shot at an event in Utah. President Trump confirms. Charlie sadly left behind his wife and 2 kids. Now, as for the person that committed this truly horrible act, this guy right here was taken into custody very shortly after it happened. And this man was the prime suspect for a little bit until it was reported by the police that this man had nothing to do with this. Now, at this time, there is still no one in custody for the passing of Charlie Kirk, but there are videos circulating the internet shortly after this happened of a person running across rooftops right above Charlie. So we're really just gonna have to wait and see what happens with all of that. My thoughts and prayers go out to Charlie and his family. Something like this should never happen to anyone. Are you surprised they weren't able to find the person that did this to Charlie immediately, or no?
Jezebel posted this article 2 days ago. We paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. They made an editor's note and says this story was published on September 8th. Jezebel condemns the shooting of Charlie Kirk in the strongest possible terms. We do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence of any kind. Obviously, I had to read the article. It starts off strong with disclaimer: the ethics of cursing a stranger. Is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. They said, I want to make it clear I'm not calling on dark forces to cause him harm. Just want him to wake up every morning with an inexplicable zit. I want his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record. Yada, yada, yada. They said, naturally, I did what any serious journalist would do. I typed curse enemy into Etsy's search bar. The options were endless. Should I try comic revenge, same day bad luck curse, or insanity hex? And I found the crown jewel. Poop your pants spell. Review, it really worked, thank you. At this point, it was clear I'd need to order multiple curses at different severity levels and price points to guarantee results. After placing my first spell, make everyone hate him, I was left with more questions than answers. For the powerful hex spell, I had to provide Kirk's date of birth for accuracy. You will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. Next day, the priestess sent me her proof of cast. Photograph in flames, the edges slowly curving inward, engulfing Charlie's face. This was a few weeks ago. Utah State University students launched a petition to bar Kirk and Turning Point USA from visiting the campus on their college tour. The petition was launched on Friday. Could this be the make everyone hate him spell? Ended it with, my Etsy curses work, time will tell. Very interesting timing.
Very interesting timing indeed. If you feel like you are cursed or something like that, make sure you get protected. And when it comes to the situation with Charlie, I don't agree with most of the stuff he say, but I also don't agree or condone any type of political violence whatsoever. I saw, unfortunately, the unedited of him being shot, and it was very gruesome. I think it was more gruesome because it's just like, that's a real person, that's a human, versus seeing something on the movie. It was very disturbing, and I still have images of it in my head every now and again. That's why I waited 2 days before I was even going to post a video on it. Regardless of how you feel about him, end of the day, he still was human. So rest in peace to Charlie, and I feel sorry for his family, and I hope they get the help they need and have the support around them to get through these tough times, because losing a father it's a horrible time. I've lost my father when I was 17, so.
Let me see, I'll know if she's my dog. Merlin, sit. Turn around. Turn around. Lay down. You're not my dog. My dog don't know how to do no fucking trick. The fuck? Call 911. Hey!
Ed, look at Carly!
Get up here, Carly! What the hell was that?
Gay!
That's a skit, but I'm assuming that's a skit. If you're enjoying content like this, I make several videos out of the week. It would be so cool if you hit the sub button and join me on my next video.
Check out these pictures of a McDonald's ice cream drip tray taken in Louisiana. It's covered with slimy filth.
I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, I've never seen something this disgusting.
This guy used to work at the McDonald's, but says he got canned after posting the photos online.
I asked my manager, I said, when's the last time y'all cleaned this? And she said, hurry up and bring it to the back before a customer sees it.
Well, we wanted to know just how sanitary is your soft serve ice cream and yogurt. So we did some testing. We took samples from 40 places in the Seattle area, from fast food chains to independent shops, and then had them tested for bacteria. 9 out of 40 samples had elevated levels of coliform, a critical indicator of an unsanitary condition, which by itself does not necessarily cause illness.
As a consumer, I would expect that my ice cream to be coliform free. It would certainly be an indication to the restaurant that they ought to investigate their sanitary procedures.
Follow me, take you to know the latest real-time hot news.
Is that why the machine is always down? Because there's so much bacteria and gunk in it, just doesn't work. I mean, you have to be crazy to get a milkshake or ice cream from somewhere like fast food, especially McDonald's.
So you don't think anything happened crazy during the eclipse today? Well, are you sure you were paying attention? Because I captured something crazy. This is the sun. That's a lens flare. So you tell me what that is. It's not a lens flare. And I've been saying for a while that the sun we see is just a projection from the sun in the firmament. And not only did I catch it, but my friend Brandon Thomas, who has the Expanding Reality podcast, used a solar filter and not only caught one, but he caught two. And you guys might not be Bible believers, and that's okay, because I wasn't either, until I realized we didn't live on on a globe. But if you look at what the Bible says, it talks about the sun being in the firmament. And not only that, but there being layers of the firmament. So if the sun was in the firmament, maybe we are seeing the reflections in the different layers of the firmament, where usually we just see the projection.
I forgot an eclipse happened. You know, I didn't say it during the Charlie thing because I wasn't thinking about it, but a lot of bad things happened on September the 10th. Let me list it for you. Somebody got literally their head in Dallas. It was a school shooting in Colorado. NASA said they found life on Mars. And if you want to talk about the weekly part, there was a decomposed body somebody found in somebody's car. All the things I just named. Protests in France and Nepal. There's protests in Indonesia right now. A bridge collapsed in some Latin American country. Unfortunately, I don't know which one it is. When I was looking at TikTok. And it was like explosion stuff. I don't know if anybody had passed. I hope not. I'm sure some more things I'm not thinking about. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments, but September has been insane, and maybe the eclipse got something to do with it. So I don't know, but something weird is going on, and to me, it's sudden. And the thing about I'm not trying to make a rabbit hole go down one, but the whole shooting with Kurt seemed a little too like perfectly timed. I'm not trying to like start any conspiracy theories or anything, but I don't know. I just think the whole situation is just odd. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Shut up! Why would I give a damn what shape the earth is? Why would I give a about some shit like that? I will have no choice but to still live here and pay bills.
All I want to know is who was the motherfucker that came up with this idea to sacrifice people? All you need to know is count me out. So the Miami Zoo decided to build an underwater tunnel so you can view alligators and crocodiles. And you got to be a special type of person to go through one of these tunnels, because if that starts to leak, lunch. Like, you see how that crocodile acting? One false move and that situation has become extreme. Is there a weight limit for you to go through this? What if the tube leaks? What if it shatters? What if him and his boys decide to come full speed at that tube to try to crack that? All I'm gonna say is count me out. Like, I don't understand why people want to risk their lives for something that's not worth it. Willing to meet they maker sooner rather than later. If this the type of adventure you looking for, go ahead and try it out. But remember, count me out.
Same here, count me out too.
All right, guys, breaking news out there to all you parents, okay? They just found out that Lunchables have lead in them, okay? And that's not all. So they made an announcement today after a test of 12 store-bought versions of Lunchables and similar lunch and snack kits found relatively high levels of lead, cadmium, and sodium. Not good. Additionally, all but one of the kits contain harmful phthalates, a group of chemicals found in plastics that the National Institute of Health states is detrimental to human health and can lead to reproductive problems, diabetes, obesity, certain types of cancer, and more. But wait, there's more. A spokesperson for Kraft Heinz, maker of Lunchables, tells people that the company is taking great steps to improve the nutrition profile of Lunchables by reducing the sodium of the crackers by 26%. Forget the fact they have lead in them and chemicals from plastic that are detrimental to your children's health. Guys, this is a problem. This is not good.
Your kids' lunch start to have more chemicals than natural food. Maybe it's time to start giving your kids or something else and boycott that, because that's disgusting.
The shit I just learned on this app might be the craziest thing ever. And it also might be evidence that we're living in a simulation. Mind you, what I'm about to tell you, I've known about it my whole entire life. And most likely you have too.
Go back in your mind and think of the first letter S that you learned how to draw. Not right. The first S that you learned how to draw. 3 lines on top, 3 lines on bottom, triangle, triangle, blah, blah, blah. Matter of fact, look at this. You remember this S. Because everybody in any school, anywhere, knows this S. When I was in school, they taught us how to draw this S. When my kids was in school, they taught them how to draw that S. They're saying that allegedly, supposedly, that S is the logo for the company that runs the simulation here. You didn't hear what I just said, right? This S right here is the logo of the company that runs this simulation here. Now, of course, I don't know how true this is, but think about this. How does everybody know about this S right here? Who made this S right here? And it's real convenient that this is the first graffiti piece that we learned how to draw when we were younger. Why did they teach us this? Why is that the easiest piece to draw? You tell me. I'm out.
Until he said they taught us how to draw it. No, they didn't. It was somebody you randomly knew in school taught you how to draw it. And I don't know about like them literally teaching you how they know, but it's pretty simple that if you would just draw 3 lines and as a kid and draw 3 more, it makes sense that eventually you probably will get that shape. I do think it's a fascinating, I guess, conspiracy of it could be the logo of simulation. That would be, maybe that would explain why most of the kids draw it. But to say the school or they taught you, no, it was some random kid that you probably sat next to you that drew it on some paper, drew it on a desk, or drew it on a wall somewhere. But yeah, most people know what that symbol is.
We happen to have someone who sent us Monica Lewinsky's poem that she wrote in 9th grade. Actually, not in 9th grade, when she was a 9-year-old. And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, yum. It's amazing how kids know at a young age what they're going to do with that.
There's one thing I've noticed about these people is everybody loves pizza. If you know, you know. But, you know, censorship, maybe the comment section can define what pizza is. Because I've already had a strike for talking about pizza. Sounds ridiculous, but yeah, I've had a strike for talking about pizza. This girl's talking about pizza, and then we know what happens with this girl years and years later on.
You do gotta watch what you say. Hey, I got striked for talking about the holiday yesterday when it happened. So I don't even talk about it no more because I got striked for it about 3 months ago. But when it comes to the 9-year-old poem, that is very weird. They were sitting there laughing, and what he said was very disgusting. Welcome to the channel. It's me, Vandal. I hope you had an excellent day. Let's get to the videos.
Serious? Did you f***ing piss right here? No? You fucking serious? Get off our goddamn property. Get in the house! Get in the house!
This is the reason why you should never get out of the house if you're in bed late night. This woman heard strange sounds coming from outside and decided to come out to see what was happening. To her surprise, there was actually a strange man hiding on her porch that spooked the woman back inside the house. Would you have done the same thing?
Hi, Fred. Oh my God. So in real time, and I can see the audience, and I can talk to you, and I can interact with you. You can put a drum set on this and just playing drums, or you can do a drum set and have your friend on stage beside you. So this is your center. That's your center. Hi, Fred. This is you in the box. Hey. Oh, no, a backyard. Everybody? Wow, okay.
Yeah, this is way better than a Zoom meeting. This wizard box.
Here's why you should keep your kids off Roblox. All of these arrests that you're seeing are very recent, and you can find them with a simple search. Seems like a pretty dangerous game to me. Stay safe.
Right in front. This is what we're carrying.
It's a transference of the life force energy without touching someone or just by laying of the hands and such.
Okay, and then the third type is the hybrid, which means both.
Yes.
Which type are you?
I am a hybrid.
You're a hybrid.
Correct.
So you drink people's blood.
Correct. I was
seemed like a cosplayer to me.
Looking forward to the event right now. It needs to have to leave for me, then that's why I'll just chat. Okay, at the wedding.
Definitely not tripping. That definitely looked like a god plan. I would be super paranoid if I saw that.
Hey babe, wake up. New moon just dropped. Apparently, it's been orbiting us for like 60 years and we just noticed it. What a creepy little guy just staring in Earth's bedroom windows as we slept. But yeah, that's the thing. 2025. Why not just have a new moon? You know, can't be any weirder than the rest of it.
But like they've just been throwing a bunch of random stuff at us for like the past month to distract us from those files. Are you serious? A moon been circling us for 60 years and NASA didn't notice?
Yo, I don't know about you guys, but the saga continues with this unreal meat. You gotta watch this. This is crazy. The corned beef is actually starting to disappear. Oh man, when will they stop doing this? Something's wrong, I swear to God.
Essentially sand. Their beef filling, they're not allowed to call it beef filling. They have to call it taco filling because it's not beef. The beef has silicone in it to make it fuller and more. Look it up.
I guess the ingredients. It's not in there.
Silicone dioxide, anti-caking agent. Now look that up.
Anti-caking agent to avoid clumping in supplements. It's used to prevent the various powdered ingredients from sticking together. As many food additives, consumers often have concerns about silicone dioxide as an additive.
Probably
Is
fine.
it safe?
Look at that. That's sand. See that? That's they put in there.
Also frequently found in health food nutritional supplements as an additive, silicone dioxide primarily functions as an anti-caking agent which prevents ingredients from bonding together because it's not food. Duh. Why is it in there though?
36% beef.
Oh, it's only 36% beef in Taco Bell.
The other 64% is a wide range of fillers.
Explained by the ground beef that it tastes so disgusting. Who needs a caking agent for real food?
Halloween's the most dangerous season of the year for the homeless. I'm like, well, why is that? Are they eating bad candy? What's going on here? He's like, no. They have these vans that come around and they tell the homeless they're going to take them to the shelter. They've got whole big meals set up for them and showers and they can wash their clothes and all this. And a lot of them get in the vans and go. And then they tie them up and they hold them for the 31st. And then they sacrifice them on the evening of Halloween to the devil.
Guys, this reminds me of William Bonin. Just type him in. He used a van and he picked up hitchhikers off the side of the freeway in America. I think it was in 1979. Hitchhikers and homeless people are a perfect target. They're displaced. No one knows exactly their location and where they're supposed to be. So it makes sense to me. Evil, sick demons would prey on people like this. And if you really look behind the meaning of Halloween, you'd see why people who think like that would use a day like that to do evil things.
Yeah, because if you take a homeless person or people no one's looking for, when they disappear, no one's going to know, let alone care. That's the sad reality of being homeless in the United States.
If
if it wasn't for the passing figure that briefly appeared, Bonita says that she would have written this off as nothing more than an issue with the stove. But seeing how it shook uncontrollably before lifting up and crashing down only seconds after the shadow makes her think this was anything but a typical appliance issue. Now obviously, stoves don't do this, but it's this fact alone that has convinced Bonita and her family that an unseen presence had done this. And perhaps, as they believe, it's a presence they're familiar with. As mentioned earlier, Bonita's relatives are staying over for a few months. They had gathered there after the recent passing of Bonita's grandmother, who passed away naturally under Bonita's care. Maybe, according to them, this might have been her spirit. But despite what they believe, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Just what exactly occurred here? Was a ghost responsible for this? Or had something else been at play here that could explain this?
I watched that video at least 10 times, and I still don't understand how a stove would do that. If you have any idea, because some people in the comments were trying to say wash machine when I saw this on YouTube on Bazaar Bub channel. That's not a wash machine. That's a stove. I watched it frame by frame. If you know anything about stoves, they are super heavy. So I don't know what could cause a stove to spin like that and then fall like that.
Kim Kardashian from 1995 to 2024 at 44 years old. Wait till you see what she looks like now, because she seems to have joined the club of Christina Aguilera, Madonna, Lindsay Lohan, and all these other ones that are suddenly just aging in reverse. When they get to 2024, suddenly they look like a completely different person. I know a lot of you guys are commenting saying maybe it's plastic surgery, maybe it's Ozempic or something like this. I don't know, guys. Adrenal something or other has been mentioned a few times too. Somehow, some of these are very lucky when it comes to aging, and other ones, like Amanda Bynes, which I'll show you later on tomorrow, got a little unlucky, but we're almost here. We're at 2020. Wait till you see what she looks like now, and let me know in the comments what you think she's doing to look so young in 2024. You ready? How is she 18 again, guys?
I personally just think it's a bunch of surgeries, and they're using some stuff that we just don't know about. I think it could be some weird stuff, if you know what I'm saying, that some people spectate they're using, or there's some new stuff on the market that's not for public or something, because I do look like some people just don't age like that.
I'm having a hard time.
Found this crispy fucking thing in the yard. What is that? Is that a fucking squirrel?
The most obvious Fae trap I have ever seen. I'm gonna go touch it. No, Maria, you're gonna get kidnapped. I have a question. What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Okay, so someone sent me this video of King Charles and people fainting in his presence. And at first I thought, people faint. But then I'm like, wait a minute. How many times have people fainted by being in the presence of King Charles? And what is with that? Now, we know about this strange painting and everything. I'm not going to talk too much about that. But all I will say is the age-old explanation for this is that people tend to faint in the presence of demonic or satanic activity. I will say, if you were to just ask someone what kind of vibes this portrait gives off, I don't know that you could say it's love and light. In fact, it looks bloody. And again, we saw what happens when you invert it, duplicate it, and match them up together. What type of coincidence would that be? And what is with the very interesting history of the royal family anyway? And what makes their bloodline enable them, or rather give them the power to rule over others? I'm not sure I'm really buying this whole story. Side note, by the way, we're all familiar with inheritance taxes, where when someone passes in your family, you don't just get all their money. The government gets a big cut. Of course, taxed here, taxed there, and even taxed when you bite it. Well, King Charles is not paying any inheritance tax from the Queen passing because of a law, and they don't want the royal wealth to be salami sliced away. So once again, we have another example of rules for thee, but not for me. How dare you try to get around paying inheritance tax on your loved one who worked their whole lives to accumulate that money. We don't have to deal with that if we're a royal family member. I just thought that was interesting, and I can tell you that if there was a vote, I would say probably the vast majority of people would say, no, you got to pay it too. Or get rid of the whole thing, not selective law applyingness. Now, the next video we're going to have to do a deep dive on is Princess Diana and the very strange circumstances that surrounded her passing, what she might have been talking about, and a lot of our parents grew up through this. I'm speaking that, all of you guys are in different ages, but even there was rumors and whispers what really happened to her, etc. And now time has passed, and we know a lot may have happened. We're going to discuss more about this in another post. Follow for more and comment your thoughts below.
King Charles likes to joke on television how he is related to Dracula.
His Royal Highness Prince Charles, who can trace his ancestry back to Romania's dark and distant past.
The genealogy shows that I'm descended from Vlad the Impaler, so I do have a bit of a stake in the country.
As it were.
These royals are the result of an incestuous breeding program, wherein children were used as a way to gain power over the masses. Throughout the First World War, the people of England were questioning the loyalty of the German bloodlines who ruled over them, which prompted the royal family to change their name to Windsor in 1917. 9 years later, Queen Elizabeth was born, who was initiated into the Druid Order in 1946.
Yeah, the picture with King Charles' portrait is very, very terrifying. When I first saw that, I was like, why would you make something like that? And be like, yeah, unless you're a weirdo. And the part about them being lineage Dracula and his little pun with the stake, yeah, something definitely really weird about him. Maybe that's why people are fainting around him. They try to say it's because the people are nervous. I don't think that is. I think some people are just more sensitive to energy and vibes than other people.
Elvis literally shapeshifts after he kisses this little girl.
From the Sioux Nation.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, get ready for the show.
And just for reference, before I let you watch his entourage run over and try to hide him from the camera, his normal eyes and what happened to his eyes after he kissed that little girl.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, somebody get the scarf real quick for her.
Now, I don't think Elvis is a shape-shifting alien from outer space. Oh no. I think he's something much different. I think Elvis is an angel. In fact, I think Elvis might be the angel of light. Lucifer, that is, that fallen angel who just happened to be the minister of music in heaven.
I don't know about that. That's a little too tinfoil for me. And that wasn't even Elvis. I'm pretty sure that was an impersonator, right? What is this guy talking about?
The truth right in front of your face in 2025, and still people just completely forget about what they just showed you. Think about this, right? These robots and these masks, by the way. And don't forget that they are decades, literal decades farther. I mean, what we could even believe that they have. And now they're showing us this while they have artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence going on. These masks and all the weird things we've been seeing on the TV lately. You know, the really weird wrinkles in the neck and just weird creases in the face that should not be there. It's pretty crazy, right? And of course, it is all for entertainment, but wait till you see the end on just how amazing it looks. And entertainment. But what if these things were all over the place in front of us on the TV and we just had no idea? Also, we only ever see the front of these people as well. Just throwing that out there for no reason at all. unrelated. So just last night we had that drop of information, tens of thousands of tagless pictures and files that no one could even barely look through. And today the victims are speaking out. Today. That's pretty wild, isn't it? Pretty wild indeed. Thoughts below.
They usually keep the stuff right in front of us and mock us, so it's not really all that surprising. But, you know, they'll just say it's creativity and it's just a commercial. Just for kids, it's not that big of a deal, right?
Your kids are playing Roblox, Satan is after your children. There's a version in this game called Demonology, where they teach your kids how to cast spells and how to practice witchcraft. This game gets so dark and demonic that kids have no idea that this is not harmless fun. But it actually opens a door for the kids to be demonized, conditioning the kids to be okay with practicing witchcraft and casting spells.
I know we all like a little bit of time to ourselves, so we let our kids play games and you've got things to do around the house or whatever, but do not let them play this game. There's plenty of other things they can be doing. This game just keeps getting worse and worse by the day. It's almost like they want the children to be familiar with these things. I don't know if you remember a few Halloweens ago where on Fortnite to revive your character you had to sell your soul to you-know-who. All very strange and completely irrelevant to a child. So it's obvious that the intent is malicious.
The problem I have with Roblox is that it's a bunch of games on it. So think of it like a game engine. And you don't know what these creators are making. And I'm not trying to give a pass to Roblox creators. I mean, Roblox, the people, the devs that made the game itself. They really should be on top. Considering how much money they're making, they really should be on top of these things. It's almost seemed like they just care about the profit over the kids' safety no matter what. But the weird thing about it is if you keep focusing on the profit and not the kids' safety, eventually you won't even have a game or a game engine to work with because the government going to shut you down. So to me, it's just weird. Regardless, you should be watching what your kids are doing as much as possible.
The old ways of doing things, that's how they open refrigerators? They had a whole spinning device in the fridge. That was so much better back then. And that's a can opener. That is cool. Hold on, you can take out the whole oven? Bro, we really downgraded. And you didn't have to spin the light bulb in, you just put it in? Would have loved to just put it in. That's pretty cool. Bro, what happened to the innovation in appliances? I don't need an LCD screen, I need this. They were really built not to break. Why did they stop making stuff like this? This is so cool. Freezer door. I want one of those today. That was crazy.
The reason why they stopped making stuff like that is because they want it to break so you can go back and buy a new one. Because if it's built for life, they lose customers. I do wish they had the little spinning, shells. I thought that was really cool even back then.
Bro, police just found a man living in the crawl space underneath someone's home in Portland, Oregon. And what this brother was doing was way beyond squatting. He was standing 10 toes down. He had a bed, string up lights, televisions, chargers, and even a freaking PS5 all plugged into the condo's power source. Through an extension, he ran through their vent. You know what's even crazier? Police were called to this property after a witness reported seeing a man who was not known as a resident parking his car and walking towards the back of one of the buildings. Bro had a freaking car. And it somehow gets even crazier because when police arrived, they discovered that the owner's keys, which unlocked the small door opening, didn't work. That's because this guy, yes, changed the locks on their doors. Now, when police broke through the door, they discovered a 40-year-old man named Benaiman Bakur just chilling inside. A freaking meth pipe was also found in the space. So next time you hear a strange noise coming from your attic or crawl space, it could be nothing. Or it could be a 40-year-old man playing Fortnite.
It's more common than you think. I used to watch a lot of true crime a couple of years ago, and there was a lot of stories of people literally living in the person walls. There was one story where it was two girls. They were like preteen, and their father would go to work or whatever. This was like in New Hampshire or something. And they kept telling him, we're hearing stuff like knocks and stuff when you're not here. And he didn't believe him. But eventually he caught it. And obviously they caught the person went to jail. But most of these people that do those things, they're not really homeless. That's just some people just choose to squat. And the crazy thing is, if you go to houses that's like really high end, like I used to live in Aspen, Colorado. If you never heard of that place, think of it like a really, really rich part of the United States. That's literally just like a ski resort town. 90% of the houses I was working on, nobody lived there. It was like a second or third house. So somebody could do what this person just did, be under it. And people, they probably wouldn't know. A lot of these houses only get used during like the winter time during the ski season. So like, the other 9 months, you could just be in there. They wouldn't know. That's the crazy thing. Like, it should have more rights for people that own property, because these people are pretty much just abusing tenant rights that's usually for people that rent. So I don't know how they would fix that. It's pretty tricky. I guess the way you could fix it is if, you break in and entering, you should be arrested for that. Who cares if you say you got a lease from a fake person in India or something? Because that happens too, by the way. It really should be as simple as you break and enter. You go to jail.
Look at t-shirt, your t-shirt, and then we take one cigarette and another cigarette, and we put it in your t-shirt, and now look at this.
Oh my God! Take it!
Cheers. Look.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I never saw anything like that.
Some people say that this person is a dark magician. Like he's a warlock. He's not faking it. It's not illusions. It's real. Most of those tricks, I can't figure out what is he doing. If those people aren't paid actors, and as the video isn't being edited and they're seeing it in real time, not like Chris Angel, which was heavily edited and it was just pretty much fake, then it's like, I don't know how he would be doing something like that. If you have any idea, please let me know in the comments below. But do you think this person is a warlock or something? Because some of the stuff that person is performing is seem out of this world.
Breaking news, if you're somebody that uses ChatGPT, which you probably are, your conversations are literally being scanned right now. Yes, you just heard that correctly. Every single chat that you've ever sent to ChatGPT isn't just between you and the bot anymore. OpenAI just officially confirmed that they now scan every single conversation across the entire board. So this is how they're saying it works. AI systems are now flagging your messages, a human moderator reviews them, and if they think it's a serious case, it can actually get escalated to the police. This means that the app that millions of people across the world use for homework, work emails, and even private late-night conversation is now being actively watched as you type. This is blowing up absolutely everywhere right now. People are calling this the end of our privacy. OpenAI is saying that it's all about safety after some real-life incidents actually happened where AI conversations went way too far. I think the question that everybody's asking right now is who decides what counts as too far? There are entire Reddit threads that are happening right now warning about these false alarms. Imagine joking with ChatGPT about a crime story idea and then suddenly you're on a list. Guys, this is not a test feature. This is actually real. If you're using ChatGPT, your words are officially being scanned, so be careful.
I guess I'm not really surprised because they really hyped up ChatGPT 5 and it is absolute trash to the point that I don't use it anymore. I used to use it for homework and stuff, but now it's constantly getting things wrong. It's constantly getting answers wrong, and it's constantly incorrect. That's the best way I can describe it. So yeah, if you use an AI that is online, that can go to somebody else's server for your private thoughts and things like that, that you don't want other people to know, that's crazy. There are plenty of LLMs, which ChatGPT is, that you can use offline on a thumbstick if you just want to talk to AI, maybe about your mental health. Maybe you have type of serious mental health, and people can say stuff about AI about how it's not useful, but in cases of certain things, like especially when it comes to like mental health and things like that, those people, the AI will be way more patient than you talking to your friend who heard you say the same thing about 1 billion times. I don't really have anything to say about it, but the AI can at least let you be heard. Because at the end of the day, when most people talk, they don't really care if you agree with them. They really just want to be heard, and most people don't get heard, and that's why they feel so isolated. So if you're gonna have private conversations with AI and you don't want people to know, you need to do it on an offline on your computer with LLM, like DeepSeek or something.
We now have video footage of a fire-breathing dragon flying outside of a passenger plane, and this looks pretty legit to me. And before you ask, no, it is not an AI video. I already went and checked. It turns out to be real. And this has been happening a lot more lately, because if you remember, just a few years ago, this photo was taken in China and it was all over the news. And don't forget, just a few hundred years ago during the Tartarian era, in our encyclopedias, dragons were listed as now rare. So that means they were a real species, but they had become less common. Now personally, I think that the flat earth German ice wall map from the 1940s is the hidden key to tell us where these dragons flew off to after we had been killing them in the Middle Ages, making them more rare. I think they went to one of these other continents that were not too far away from our own, and they probably went to a place such as Asgard or Terra Vista, the unexplored regions. I think this map shows probably what is actually out there, the closest out of any of these ice wall maps that we've seen so far.
The scariest thing I've ever seen up there. One night at 2 in the morning, I was hanging out there, okay? And they go, you can hang out here, but upstairs they're doing something, but you cannot go up there in the belly room. Like, it's closed. Who gives a fuck? He's like, there's something going up there. Do not go up there. But I went up there. The back entrance, up the black. I opened up that back thing, right? It's pitch black in there, but I see candles, right? I swear to God, I saw this. 15 people wearing hoods and purple cloaks.
Oh my God.
Okay? And they're chanting. Right? And then, so I go back downstairs and I wait to see. They come down after the seance. You know who I saw? One of them was Lily Tomlin. Okay? The second one was Bob Zamuda. You know Bob Zamuda? And they were seancing Andy Kaufman's ghost.
Did it work?
I don't know. I didn't stay up there long enough to know. But what I'm saying is that there's something about that belly room that is a portal of something. In the night there, you can hear babies crying upstairs.
Now, Bobby say a lot of crazy stuff because he's a comedian, but he could be, what he's saying could be true. He seemed pretty serious for once, so maybe that's why he just sticks to his own podcast now. You don't really see him anywhere else.
No. All jokes aside, who is this guy right here? Who is this? Because ain't no way you go from this to this. Who is this, man? Who is this? Because just a few days ago, like 2 days ago, on the gram, this is the picture that The Rock posted. Yeah. So how do you go from this to this? How did he do that? Why I'm asking, because I want to do that. We've seen so many versions of The Rock through the years. From this to this. I mean, he doesn't even do the people's eyebrow anymore. He doesn't do that anymore. Who is this, dogs? Who is this guy right here? Who is this? Because that's not him. This is The Rock that I know. I know him personally. Who's this? Remember him? Because I remember him like it was yesterday. This is The Rock that I know. This is The Rock that I was watching during wrestling growing up. I know this Rock. What the? Shut up! Who is this guy right here, though? Who is this? Notice how his nose is wider than the other ones. What is he? Look. What's going on here, guys? Come Come on, ain't nothing going on. These guys are actors. They play different roles. They have to fit the script. You know what I mean? So they got to get in shape and do things like that before they could play the new role that they playing. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just wondering, how does he change so many times? But I understand he's an actor. This is what they do. Nothing to see here. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
In my opinion, I think the role just perfectly lines up for him getting off the juice. What I mean by juice, I mean, if you think The Rock was natural in the last 10 to 20 years, that's it for today's videos. I hope you had an excellent day. Remember, if you enjoyed the content, leave a like, a sub, and a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I feel like I just snorted cocaine or something. I'm so excited. And I never did that before. For the record. For the record. For the record.
Look, I'm not here to start drama. I know there's a lot of people out here who absolutely love Stephen Furtick. But listen, as a pastor, as a shepherd, our words matter. James 3:1 says teachers will be judged more strictly. The pulpit isn't a stage for shock value. It's a sacred place to point people to Jesus. And honestly, why joke about something you've never done? That's like saying, I feel like I've flown on a plane even though I've never been on one. It confuses people, distracts from the message, and pulls people away from the gospel, making the moment all about you. Paul says in Ephesians 5 that coarse joking is out of place. Our job is not to entertain, it's to feed the sheep. And whether you like Furtick or not, a pastor's job is to lead people to Christ, not applause. So pastors, choose your words carefully to ensure that what you say glorifies Jesus, not yourself.
What that pastor said was weird, for the record, for the record, for the record.
What the f is the government gearing us up for, y'all? They just released this video of a UFO. They said this joint just took one of our best missiles and it just kept flying. This is the orb right here, y'all. And the missile that the military shot at this joint is designed to tear through tanks and bunkers. Y'all, watch this. Boom. And that joint bounced off and kept moving like Marshawn Lynch. All I know, y'all, is that it's not man-made. So what I'm trying to understand is, what kind of technology can just get hit with a missile and keep moving? That shit don't make y'all mind like, what the f is really going on? Let's just say hypothetically that this is some sort of outside being. If that joint is able to take out one of our best missiles, what you think they gonna do if they come here on some bullshit? We all might be. My question is, why is this footage just coming out now? They had this shit for a while. Are we finna see something we're not supposed to see? Like, are they preparing us? Because like I said, if they've been sitting on this for a while, what is making them disclose this? We've been asking these questions. So why now all of a sudden they like, here, the pressure's too much. We're just gonna let y'all see what's going on. I'm not no fool. Does this have something to do with that AI Atlas that's supposedly supposed to fly past Earth and supposed to have like little mini probes or some shit? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
What I think it's a distraction from the E-files. That's just my personal opinion. All the stuff that's been going on is just, they try to distract you. I feel like, I don't think we ever gonna get the whole thing of the files. They don't want to. I feel like most of the politicians that's in it, most of the really successful people in it knew that guy and they was affiliated with him. So they just trying to distract us as much as possible. That's what I think.
I'm so fucking scared.
She was home alone when she heard something terrifying. Her boyfriend was at work, but in the middle of the night she heard keys twisting in the lock. The house was supposed to be empty. For half an hour, she kept recording herself, whispering to the camera, trying not to panic. But then she opened the door, and that's when things went horribly wrong.
What the fuck?
What followed is a warning. Never respond to a mimic. A mimic is a presence that copies the voice or actions of someone you trust, only to lure you in, and when you answer, it always ends in disaster. At first, she thought her boyfriend had come home early, but he wasn't due back until morning. She heard footsteps moving through the house, then silence. She waited for him to walk into the room, but nobody ever came. Her baby was still beside her, but the sounds were too sharp, too real. She knew she wasn't imagining it. Then, chaos. Heavy footsteps, pounding on the door, and a voice, begging to be let in. But it wasn't him. It couldn't be. That's when the true horror began. Oh my God. Terrifying video shows what happened next on YouTube. Don't watch it, but if you're brave enough, tap share, then more, then YouTube.
This very well could be the clearest sign of life that we've ever found on Mars.
So last July, NASA's Perseverance rover found a leopard-spotted rock at Mars. And scientists immediately knew. It was interesting, we hadn't seen anything like that before.
What we saw in this rock were these layers of very fine-grained, rusty red mudstone that had in them these incredible features, these things that we took to calling poppy seeds, which are the sort of dark black spots in the rock, and leopard spots, which are these kind of ring-shaped features that have dark rims around them.
They've done the analysis on these leopard spots, and we think they are potentially made by some sort of ancient life. This finding by our incredible Perseverance rover is the closest we've actually come to discovering ancient life on Mars.
The discovery of a potential biosignature or a feature or signature that could be consistent with biological processes, but that requires further work and study to confirm a biological origin.
To me, another distraction from what I just said in the previous video. If you even go into Mars, why are you messing with stuff you don't got no business messing with? You're not going to find anything that's going to help us. And if somehow you do, it's not going to help the common man. It's going to help the people at the top. I know it sounds very cynical, but it's just like watching as many videos as I watch, you already know.
Well, this is distressing. Musician who perished in 2021 resurrected as a clump of brain matter now composing new music. Yes, a group of researchers and artists used a musician's donated blood in order to create a brain organoid, so a tiny human brain that can literally grow in a jar if you want to, and are now forcing it to compose new music. This actually happened. Just in case you aren't familiar, the tiny human brains can be hooked up to a computer and made to do various tasks. These particular tiny brains were made from a US composer, Alvin Lucier, and it raises a lot of questions. These are the brains in question. They were grown from the artist's blood. You can actually use a lot of cells to turn them into stem cells and into whatever organoid you want. They hooked them up to a computer and turned them into an art exhibit. Yes, they're connected to these speakers and they compose music. The researchers are hoping that they'll see them learning and improving the composition. Evidently, there was an agreement. The artist's health had declined in 2021, and he came to the
If you had to choose, would you rather know what was going on in Antarctica, the Vatican, or Area 51? Because the rabbit holes of secrets just feel never ending. When I was thinking about the Vatican earlier, I was like, think about the fact that the Bible itself had 80 books in the 1600s. Now we're down to 66, and they removed things like giants, dragons, sirens, Enoch, the Book of Mary Magdalene. All of these different things are hidden from us, and we just don't even know why. Nevertheless, I saw this guy talking about the fact that there were 200 angels that fell from the sky, and around the earth we have 190 craters that have no rock or rubble that were ever found. And then this other person was like, yeah, 10 of them fell into the ocean. Then this lady blew my mind because she was like, what if that's what took the dinosaurs? And why would there be a book about dragons if dragons never existed? And I've gone down so many rabbit holes in the last couple of days that my mind is completely depleted and exhausted, but I'm also super intrigued and I just want to know more. But I feel like I'm just going in circles because every time I uncover a layer, I end up looking into something else that has nothing to do with what I was looking for, and then I'm just stuck because I'm like, I didn't know this either. So what do y'all think about this? Like, if you had to choose, what would you go to first? Okay, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what other crazy rabbit hole has recently come out that you've been going down under. Share this so that we can keep this discussion going. Like, follow, stay for some more tea. I appreciate y'all support. Bye.
Vatican for sure. And the rabbit hole I've been going down recently is that technology comes from fallen angels. I am trying to find a lot of documents, which I haven't been successful. Articles, something, so I can make a deep dive video on it, because I think it'd be very interesting to have a video just dedicated to about technology came from fallen angels and computer chips and things like that. I mean, you look at them, they do look like magical sickles. So that's what I've been going on rabbit hole. But what do you think? Which one would you pick? Antarctica, Vatican? Which one? Let me know in the comments below.
Why are so many people saying that they cannot say the name of Jesus at a certain level within the industry? If you can remember, Kanye West originally said this a while ago.
Literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus.
Then another artist came out saying that he was not only about to sign a contract that says he can't say the name of Jesus, but that he was threatened that something would happen to him if he did say the name. Check it out real quick.
I'm looking through the deal. I'm just skimming through it. I'm not even caring. I'm trying to where the dotted lines at so I can sign. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So then my homeboy grabbed it. He like, oh, let me just before you sign, bro. Let me just look through it real quick, bro. Bro, he like it's like he knew where the page was or something. He was just flipping, bro. He like stop. I was like, bro, you didn't read this? I said, read what? The thing said you could not say the name. Like literally in verbatim, it said you could not say the name Jesus. It didn't say God. Wow. It said you cannot say the name Jesus. I forgot what else it said, but it said like or else. Like it's like it was like a threat in there or something. But they'll basically say like they know your family, where they live at. They know who your
Now it's believed that streamer Kaisenet stopped working with Nike because he wanted to say the name of Jesus and they didn't want him to. Check out this clip.
Jesus Christ is real. There was a lot of things I just had to say no to. I want y'all to know that, bro. In life, no matter anything what it is okay to say no.
Some people are willing to sell what they believe in for profit. Like, understand if you got like a chance at generational wealth, so then your integrity and stuff, start to falter. But people like Hassanah, he got so much money, he probably has the option to say no to somebody's sponsorship based on his beliefs, which I think is great. If you believe something, you should be proud of it. Especially if it's something that is important as religion and spirituality.
You lost the technology to get us to the moon. Where did it go?
They lost the tapes of the moon landing. What you watch when Neil Armstrong climbs off the LEM, One Small Step for Man, that was projected on a wall in NASA, and the networks were like, hey, can we just get the direct feed? Like, no, we're going to do it this way. Then they lost all those tapes, lost the telemetry. When asked, why don't we go back? NASA said, well, we can't replicate that technology. It's too difficult. NASA astronauts saying, oh, we think we found a way now that we can finally get past the Van Allen radiation belt. We already did that, man, didn't we? 17 times, but they lost it.
Unbelievable.
Russia was first to everything. Russia has Sputnik, first man-made satellite, man in orbit, first animal in orbit, first woman in orbit, first spacewalk. It's all first. And you can hear JFK saying, like, no matter how much money we throw at it, we're going to be second. And then suddenly, 1969, we surpass all of the Soviets and we land on the moon.
Did we?
I don't buy it. Americans who don't believe that we went to the moon, it's rising every year. I hope I have nothing to do with that.
I'm sure you have something to do with that.
Millions of Americans have admired you not only for your achievement, but for the quiet dignity with which you have conducted yourself, Neil Armstrong.
We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
Of course he has something to do with it. He's part of the Wild Files. That channel is super duper popular. I don't really watch that much of it, but I know it pulls in millions of views a month. Now, he will say most of the stuff that on his channel can be debunked, but regardless, you're still influencing people. And I do like the fact that he just kind of put the information out there. So shout out to him.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight.
What the fuck?
Stop. No,
Stop.
No, I'm not. No. Hell no.
What the fuck, dude?
No. They were soaked. Is
that a cow?
What is that?
Oh, frick! Yo, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Well, that's all the videos I have today. I hope you enjoyed. And remember, if you did, leave a like, a sub, and a comment. Thanks again for the 60K. I really appreciate it. I look forward to 100K. That's going to be crazy. I'll see you later. Take care.
I think the public needs to know this. If you're traveling this summer for vacation or for the holidays, listen up. As of right now, the FBI is hunting down 500 truck driving serial killers. Before I get into it, if you're traveling this summer, you're going to want to be cautious traveling on I-40. So this has been going on for the past 20 years, but it's ramping up. So the FBI is guesstimating that around 1,000 plus women have long-haul truck drivers. But that's not all. They also have murdered 2 couples as well at truck stops. And these are the weirdos they're catching. So this is actually a chilling last picture of this girl before she was. Basically what they're doing is they're targeting SEX workers at truck stops and unsuspecting women. What they're doing then is basically torturing these women in the back of their trailers for as long as they possibly want to, and then they end up but the body count is just getting higher and higher. Basically so high that they're letting it be known to the public. So the sad part is a lot of these working girls don't have a choice. Either their PIMPs are saying, hey, you got to go in that truck or else, or hey, you're not going to get your DRUGS if you don't get in that truck. And they're all ending up. So far, the FBI has concluded that it's happening in North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas.
I'm not really surprised there's a bunch of truck drivers. It actually makes sense that somebody doing such disgusting things would be a truck driver, because they could just do something that the next day they're in a completely different state over and over again. It'll be a lot harder to catch them versus somebody who's doing it in the same area over and over again. Most people that go around the country doing these disgusting acts usually have traveling jobs. And that's what they like doing when they're traveling. I hope every single person that do these disgusting things find themselves under the jail.
This is real footage of a jungle search party communicating with the hidden elves of Malaysia, also known as the Orang Bunyan. Allegedly, in March 2019, experienced trail runner Acap went missing after joining the Kopeng Trail Run in Perak, Malaysia. After one of the country's biggest search and rescue operations, he was still nowhere to be found. Then, members of the search party started reporting strange occurrences during the search. They started hearing Acap's voice, but when they approached the voice, he was nowhere to be found. They also started smelling the scent of fried food, which is the signature scent of the Orang Bunyan. Don't ask me why they smell like fried chicken. I guess the scent of food is supposed to lure people to them. After these strange occurrences, people started to suspect that Acap was being taken by the Orang Bunyan, who are said to live deep within the forest, but on a different realm from us humans. And only people with the third eye, or whom the Orang Bunyan allows to see, will be able to see them. They are also said to be very beautiful looking, often wearing white garments. Religious masters then started combing the forest together with the search parties until they found Acap. According to them, they had found Acap alive and well, but Acap had no intentions of returning to our earthly realm. Acap had decided to stay with the Orang Bunyan. Some even said he decided to marry the Orang Bunyan, supposedly because he's being tricked into believing that he's living a lavish life with the Orang Bunyan, when in reality he was just sitting on rocks and eating snails. If you want to hear the rest of the story, check out my recent YouTube video where I discuss Malaysia's hidden elves, the Orang Bunyan.
They definitely would have got me smell like fried chicken and the people beautiful. Yeah, I would have fallen right for that trap.
If you think mirrors are low-key creepy, you are not alone in that fear. Around the world, for thousands of years, people have been terrified of mirrors, not because of how they reflect you, but what might be looking back at you. Have you ever seen a mirror covered after someone passes away? Yeah, it's so that their soul doesn't get trapped in the mirror. Certain religions do that. Feng Shui says never put a mirror at the end of your bed because your soul might get confused while you're asleep and wind up in the mirror. In ancient Greece, they used to use mirrors to contact the dead, and sometimes the dead spoke back. And that brings us to the demon mirror. The mirror so terrifying that the Vatican has to keep it locked underground in the secret archive. The demon mirror is claimed to be carved from obsidian, which is volcanic rock that the Aztecs used to use to summon their god. The gag with the demon mirror is it doesn't summon anything, it shows you your death, or worse, it shows you your shadow self. They say this mirror whispers in Latin, cracks during blessings, and then heals itself overnight. One priest decided he was going to be Billy Badass and stand in front of the mirror alone. He left the room with his eyes bleeding, mumbling, "It knows my name," and he was never the same. The Vatican classifies the demon mirror as a Class 3 infernal object, and it's in a lead-lined vault with constant supervision. Why? Not because it's haunted or possessed, but because it's waiting. What the hell is it waiting on? The church says there might be a twin out there, and if these two mirrors link up, it is quite literally the apocalypse. Here's the thing, black obsidian mirrors are actually not that uncommon. They're used as scries all the time, but there's certain mirrors out there, like the one that John Dee used, the Vatican's keeping a close eye on, but that's not it. Inside the Vatican archives, there's also a crucifix that bleeds during solar eclipses. But we can talk about that another time.
Okay, so why am I just finding out that people are living in the Grand Canyon? And I'm not talking about on the outskirts, but deep within, as in you need to take an 8-mile hike to get in or out, unless you're taking a mule or going via helicopter. This is in Supai, Arizona. It's called the Supai Village in the Havasu Canyons in the Grand Canyon. And this place is completely rural. They have a population of about 200 people, and it falls outside of the Grand Canyon National Park jurisdiction. It is by the Havasupai tribe, who have been there for over 1,000 years, and they administer the land completely on their own. They have their own culture, their own tradition, their own laws, and hikers and tourists need a full reservation in order to go there. I can't imagine what it's like to live there, because there's limited to no Wi-Fi or cell service, and they get their mail, they get their packages only via a mule. This is insane. I didn't even know this existed. I didn't even know this was allowed, based on the fact that the most of the Grand Canyon is completely blocked off to the public, but they've been there for over 1,000 years, so they actually have reign on this particular part of the land. Tourists who have been there, though, said that now it's become a bit of a run-down area. It's almost like living in a third world place. Some people have witnessed DV or things that seem a bit eerie, but I can't confirm or deny any of this. It's all alleged in regards to how they live. However, I do know that Supai Village does indeed exist. If you heard about it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you move there, especially with the state of the world right now? If you don't know what I'm talking about, save this video, go look into it, come back, let me know what you think. If I find out any more interesting details, I'll be back. Per usual, this is all alleged. Like, follow, stay for some more tea.
I personally couldn't or wouldn't want to live a life like that, but I can't deny that it would be extremely peaceful.
It's late at night when a man named Taylor immediately takes out his phone to record something in his girlfriend's house. He's by himself, and for the first time, he's hearing what his girlfriend often hears at night, but never records on camera. At this moment, the sound of someone walking back and forth is heard from upstairs. The thing is, though, no one else is home except Taylor.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my god, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
Eerily, the sound of charging footsteps is heard descending the staircase and heading towards Taylor. And as promised, he delivers. He lunges at whatever it was that was heading towards him. Although losing his balance upon doing so, he continues to record on the off chance that something else happens. Unfortunately, nothing does. But at least the sounds from earlier have stopped. Now, while most people tend to run away from paranormal occurrences, it is refreshing to see someone do something different. But as some believe, it might be best if he didn't confront the ghost in this house. Regardless, ghost or not, it is nice to see a different kind of reaction.
It is quite nice to see their reaction. That man really was standing on business. He wasn't playing.
I feel like I just accidentally figured out Project Bluebeam, and you guys should listen to this. Just a heads up, this is a conspiracy theory. I am a conspiracy theorist because that's just how Satan's world works. And this is also just what I've experienced and what I believe, so do use discernment. Let me just start off by saying aliens are not real. They are demons. If you do not know Jesus Christ, you need to find him right now. And using the name Jesus Christ around these entities is the only way to make them leave you alone. You are not allowed to say Jesus Christ at NASA, Area 51 facilities, and all types of government compounds. So I have one of these bug lights because it doesn't give off chemicals or anything. It's just blue light and it attracts insects like crazy. So I was keeping it by my sink in case any gnats or anything came up. Today I noticed, I don't know if this has been like this for days or if I just noticed it today, but I'm a very observant person. The light used to just make the shape of the thing on the wall, but today it's a beam that goes all the way up to the ceiling. So I wanted to go to the store just to see if there was any like truth in plain sight type stuff on the packaging. But first off, I went to multiple stores. I could not find one store near me that sells anything other than LEDs, which are blue lights. And then I noticed that one of the biggest brands calls them Reveal LEDs. And pretty much all of them have these little labels that say like whole home. I don't know, this just feels really weird to me. And then I remembered that every single one of these, you could record any of them. They all get sucked up. You could try it yourself. It's not some kind of light trick or anything like that. I'm just recording normally, and I've never seen one that doesn't do that. Think about it. Why are insects attracted like that to blue light? Like to where you don't need anything else, just the light does it. Does anyone have any ideas on what number might fall under the blue light frequency? I'll give you a hint. The Lord of the Flies. And as if this stuff wasn't weird enough on its own, Elon just bought a bunch of like 5G satellite things, and they just launched, I think it said 28 of them or something yesterday, and there's a whole bunch more that are about to launch. So Jesus is king. Invoke his name wherever possible, especially if you come into contact with something like that at any point. But also, if something like that goes down, it might not be a bad idea to shut all of the lights out. I know that sounds crazy, but it's kind of a weird thread for it to have so many things that point to that.
The shift has officially hit the fan, y'all. Hollywood is shutting down. The cost of living in Los Angeles has caught up with the industry. People are losing their jobs left and right. The production companies are closing down, y'all. Even Mel Gibson, he says now he has to outsource his whole production company to other countries in order to continue filming the second Passion of Christ, y'all. We told y'all the shift is here, y'all. Check
Movie productions, once reserved for the big Hollywood lots of Los Angeles, are now finding homes elsewhere, both domestically and abroad. So what is driving the exodus out of California? News Nation's Brian Enton looks into that story.
It's the 76th Emmy Award. Watch the Emmy Awards and you'll see the glitz and glamour. But the streets of Hollywood and the unemployed tell a different story. Some living in cars and struggling.
I've lost my job. It's everything. It's family, it's community, it's where I've worked for almost the last 30 years.
Stats show Hollywood is dead. California's COVID lockdowns, fires, high taxes, streamers and YouTube. TV shoots are down more than 50%. So how bad is it out here in LA? I'm about to get onto a major movie studio backlot to check it out. No one on the outside is supposed to see this, but I walked around and it was like a ghost town. I didn't see anyone. Workers told me it used to be bustling here with actors and crew, but now these sound stages are empty. I was just walking around one of the studio lots out here, right outside the car here, and it's just dead. I mean, there's no one there. Everything is empty. There's not even anyone really walking around. What do you think is going on here?
Yeah, well, it was like that when I left to come over to Italy to work on film, and it was already like an episode of the Twilight Zone. You know, places were deserted and for more than one reason. What's going on there? Well, the industry is dying there.
I spoke with Academy Award-winning actor and director Mel Gibson, who's in Italy filming the sequel to The Passion of the Christ. He says it's much less expensive to shoot movies halfway around the world, which was the case on another one of his recent movie shoots.
It was cheaper, more cost-effective to fly the entire American crew, buy them air tickets, fly them to Bulgaria, house them, feed them for 3 days, and do the shooting there for 3 days rather than to just shoot for 1 day locally in Los Angeles where they all...
You guys understand how big this is? Hollywood's little dream factory is running out of gas. You know California is the root chakra of the planet? That means this is the root of all the problems that we have been experiencing, because they make you see, and when you see something, you believe it, and then you create it in this reality. This is big major news, y'all. This is the end of program delusion, and it is the rise of the real creators who have the real vision, like you and I, y'all. The shift is here. Let me know.
Doubt anything's really going to change. I'm not surprised that happened. Hollywood's been on a down for several years now. Even before COVID, it was like that. It's because of the taxes, and I could say Silicon Valley and all the high-paying jobs made all the prices go up. It's actually happening in Mexico City right now, too, in Mexico. A lot of those people who worked in Silicon Valley got remote jobs. They moved over to Mexico City. Now, the rent there is like $1,500, which is insane. So the locals are suffering. It's happening in a lot of other states, too. A lot of people from California with that big salaries going to Nevada, Arizona, North Carolina, all the like sunshine type states. Can't blame the people who are making $400,000 a year want to go somewhere else cheaper because they live remote. All of us would do it. But it's just like, I don't know. It's a good thing to me that Hollywood is not doing very good, because let's be real, most of the stuff that comes out isn't very good anyway. 99% of stuff they produce is literal trash now. So it's unfortunate some people losing their jobs, though.